Hello, Durud and Shalom. We be live. Hi, Monkey.
Hello, the read Shalom and Ola.
Hola, hola, hola. Okay, Monkey. As you mentioned, there is the United States is responding to the Islamic Republic. They're responding bigly. The southern Iran IRGC is being pounded by United States military navy in southern Iran for like days now, and right now it's getting even more aggressive. There's a lot of military, like it's even too it's getting it's escalating to new levels. Even it's not just southern Iran. There are two examples that even came into the mix section, more closer to the north. But the Islamic Republic is being attacked in a much more significant way compared to during the ceasefire. So this is like, the ceasefire is not just officially over; it's also over, visibly over. So is this what you wanted to see?
Not enough. Go pedal to the metal. I remember I wanted them to do this 2 weeks ago, a month ago. So, I just wanted them to go harder and faster. That being said, I'm not going to be bad at an increase, right? Increase, good. Increase, good. More, better.
Some analysts are suggesting that this is preparations for a ground operation. Like they're saying that this very, very much looks like United States is getting ready, is preparing the southern Iran for some ground operations. It also the current political climate in Israel also suggests that uh, they're getting ready to go back in. Is that what you're saying as well?
Look, I've been people. There is this insistence on the impossibility of Americans being able to take ground, being able to defend it, being able to do operations on the ground. And I'm not talking about 100,000 soldiers, right? Each one of these carriers carries like 7,000, 10,000. Like a small group for us, for America, a small group could be 20, 30,000 is a small group for us. And to say that we can't do it, it's too hard, it's impossible. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. People keep insisting on that. They keep insisting on the past way of doing war, the past way of defense. They keep saying it's impossible, and I think it's very possible.
All right, let's listen to what President Trump is saying about all of this, guys. People in the chat, I see you guys there. I'm going to be, Monkey's going to keep an eye on your comments as well. Thank you, Monkey, for that. But let's see what President Trump has to say.
We used to go million, then we went billion, now we're into the trillions, but there's never been anything like it. The country is as hot as it's ever been, and we're doing really well with Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran is not happy right now. Should have been done 47 years ago. Should have been done at least during the 47-year period. And it wasn't. Other presidents didn't do what was right. They should have done it a long time ago. It would have been much easier. And they want to settle so badly. They don't like what we're doing. And they do want to settle. We'll find out whether or not we settle with them or we just finish it off. But
what do you think about that?
I think you can't do anything with the RGC. You got a bomb.
You got to bum them. You can't settle with these people. These people lie. They lie all the time. Anything that they agree with you, they will violate it at some point. There's no the only utility to talk to, the only two utilities to talk to these people is to buy time if you need time, and also to mess them up, cause division, cause infighting. These are the utilities of talking to them. But the talking to them should never be done with the intention of settling with them, because they lie, they cheat, they violate anything they sign, they violate anything that they agree to. So talking to them should be only done if you need to hold them back, basically trick them into thinking that there's a chance that you're going to give them something, and then don't give it to them. So far, I'm actually happy with the MOU, because the MOU got the Americans the time that they needed, and nothing that they said that, most of what they said that is going to be released to the Islamic Republic is now all up in the air, right? So we were right about the MOU not being worth the paper that it was written on. Nothing there was guaranteed, and now you can see, well, there was no there was no guarantee, nothing that could force the Americans to abide by it. Like, and there was no enforcement power behind it. It was just a piece of paper that is not going to be holding Americans back. And now the actions that you see happening right now, it shows that we were right about that. And let's get some more detailed military updates regarding what's happening, because from Admiral Cooper, the head of CENTCOM.
I'm Admiral Brad Cooper here at United States Central Command, where I'm leading the forces executing Operation Epic Fury. First, I want you to know that we continue to keep the family.
Wait, are you sure this is Quantum Guard? This has just been posted now. This is new. Why
I
is he
saw
calling
something
it
like this
Operation-
yesterday. I think I showed something like this directly from CENTCOM yesterday. I could be wrong, but it's the same guy. It sounds like the same. There might
Why
be
is he
an
calling it
older version of this.
Interesting, because why is he calling it since the first 24 hours of this campaign, Iranian ballistic missiles and drone attacks have dropped drastically? Yeah, this is a new video. Why is he calling it Operation Epic Fury? I thought we were done.
That's a new video, but that's not the CENTCOM page. I don't know what Quantum Guard is.
No, but based on what he's saying in this video, that suggests to me that this is new. Let me check CENTCOM page. Central Command. Let's see if we could, because I want to make sure we're not sharing an old video. So let's look at CENTCOM. Where's this video? Okay, that might be an old video. I'm not going to share that then. I'm not seeing anything here. It would have been it would have been posted here, right? If it was, it probably would have been posted here. Like
CENTCOM tends to have that. Yeah, CENTCOM tends to have that first.
Stop.
I'm Admiral.
Stop talking.
It's Central Command.
No, not you. I'm talking to X. Let me see. Somebody. Is anybody? Just wait. Let's listen to it anyways, because I want to see.
I'm Admiral Brad Cooper here at United States.
Oh my God! Why is X just automatically plays this without me clicking?
I hate it too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let me play it and see if this is new or not. Okay.
I'm Admiral Brad Cooper here at United States Central Command, where I'm leading the forces executing Operation Epic Fury. First, I want you to know that we continue to keep the families of our fallen heroes and our wounded teammates in our thoughts and prayers. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the families of the 50,000 American servicemen and women deployed in and around the Middle East. I'm grateful for your selfless sacrifice, and I know that Americans across the country hold you in their hearts. Let me start by offering my overall assessment of Operation Epic Fury. In short, U.S. forces continue delivering devastating combat power against the Iranian regime. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. U.S. combat power is building, Iranian combat power is declining. And we remain centered on very clear military objectives in eliminating Iran's ability to project power against Americans and against its neighbors. Every day, we're striking hard at Iranian ballistic missile and drones. To date, we have struck more than 5,500 targets inside Iran, including more than 60 ships, using a variety of precision weapon systems. Just yesterday, we had strike waves nearly every hour from different locations and directions going into Iran. We also took out the last of 4 Soleimani-class warships. That's an entire class of Iranian ships now out of the fight. I'd characterize our strikes as being unpredictable, dynamic, and decisive. Since the first 24 hours of this campaign, Iranian ballistic missile and drone attacks have dropped drastically.
So this is probably old, but I still want to watch it.
But it's worth pointing out that Iranian forces continue to deliberately target innocent civilians in Gulf countries while hiding behind their own people as they launch attacks from highly populated cities in Iran. Of course, forces executing Operation Epic Fury aren't just defending against Iranian threats. We are methodically dismantling them by hitting Iranian missiles and drones, as we also strike their defense industrial base. Just last night, our bomber force hit a large ballistic missile manufacturing facility, as an example. So it's not just about what's shooting at us today, it's also about eliminating the threat in the future. Now, let me show you a few of the results from the tremendous efforts by America's joint force. Here, you see an Iranian Jamaran-class warship, a large patrol ship, a drone smuggling vessel, and 4 other surface combatants docked at Chabahar port in the Gulf of
Yeah, these were destroyed before.
Oman the day
They don't have any of these anymore. Right now, it's just mostly the speedboats.
before we launched Operation Epic Fury. Here's the same pier 4 days later, all ships
Yeah, now I remember this. This was from before, but it's good to watch.
taken out of action.
An
This
update.
bypass surface
Refresher.
Yeah, refresher.
ship was hit and rolled on its side. Here's another example. Here you see 2 Iranian surface combatants docked at an Iranian naval base near the Strait of Hormuz, just hours into the campaign. And here's what
Guys, the good thing right now about the second phase of, if we go back to like full on head to head, like escalate to Operation Epic Fury levels, none of these exist anymore. Like right now, the Islamic Republic doesn't have any of these. They only have speedboats, mostly have speedboats.
they look like 3 days later, engulfed in flames after we struck them with a precision weapon. For years, the Iranian regime has threatened commercial shipping and U.S. forces in international waters. Our mission is to end their ability to project power and harass shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. From the air, we've achieved a concentration of air power with back-to-back waves of advanced fighters, creating constant pressure on the enemy every single day. Our dominance is not a solo effort, it's a testament to the strength of our ironclad alliances. We continue to coordinate closely and effectively with Israel in this very large operation, and we are also coordinating and serving side by side with all of our partners in the Middle East. We're on a path to eliminating Iran's ability to threaten Americans and our friends, and we are achieving this through a combination of lethality, precision, and rapid innovation. Let me highlight a few examples, at least the ones that aren't classified, of how we are achieving lethal effects in entirely new ways. First, our warfighters are leveraging a variety of advanced AI tools. These systems help us sift through vast amounts of data in seconds, so our leaders can cut through the noise and make smarter decisions faster than the enemy can react. Humans will always make final decisions on what to shoot and what not to shoot, and when to shoot. But advanced AI tools can turn processes that used to take hours and sometimes even days into seconds. I continue to be impressed with all the branches of the U.S. military. The entire team is performing superbly. Strike operations from our joint force continue, as I've said. I assess that we are clearly exercising air superiority over vast swaths of Iran. We have the most integrated air defense umbrella in the Middle East, and our defensive operations from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Space Force teams are performing magnificently. A note about the Space Force. Our space superiority has been a critical enabler to this fight. Unseen by the world, the Space Force is doing 2 things. First, they're degrading Iranian capability, and second, they're helping to protect American forces, and I'll have to leave it right there. All told, despite this incredible progress, make no mistake, we remain highly vigilant. And I just could not be prouder of our Operation Epic Fury team, and I know the American people share that same pride. To all our warriors out there, please keep up the great work and Godspeed. Thanks so much.
How could you be American and not feel pride when you see this, right? Like,
What's the Space Force doing? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to President Trump. Also, Monkey, if you see any comments you want to start them so that we could engage with our audience.
I'll keep a lookout.
Thank you.
Booming, and we'll have Iran defeated soon. They'll be defeated very soon. And then I guess it'll be even better. But even during this, it's been amazing. I mean, booming, and we'll have.
So this is good. When he says Iran will be defeated soon, that's very encouraging to hear, because sometimes he uses language that some people get concerned, thinking that he thinks like the job is done and there's nothing, he's gonna. So you can see the language keeps changing, going up and down, right? Sometimes he says certain. Monkey, can you mute your microphone? I'm hearing your background. Sometimes, for example, President Trump says that, oh yeah, they're already defeated, regime change has happened, the Islamic Republic is destroyed, and some people get concerned that, okay, he's basically pulling out. This is Taco. Trump is moving away. He tried it, and now he's not going to do anything. But then the other days when he says something like this, then it become encouraging. Like, okay, so nope, we're back onto the job is not done. we're going to be defeated soon. So what has happened so far was not mission accomplished. What has happened so far is not a full defeat of the Islamic Republic. The worst for the Islamic Republic is yet to come. So this is so encouraging to hear. Go on, Monkey.
I don't think that's what he means. When he says defeated, he means the IRGC is going to accept the deal. I don't think when he says defeated, he means, oh, they're leaving. They're not going to be in charge anymore. When he says defeated, it means, oh, they're going to come back to the table. They're going to make a deal. That's why I don't like this defeated. I need replaced. I don't need defeated, because defeated still leaves them there to make a deal and accept the deal because they've been defeated. So you have to accept that the game is over and you play something else. That's why I don't like defeated language. I like replaced language. And that's, I'm also going off the interview with Vance, because that's what he's playing at. Like, they're saying, oh, these people want a complete change of the mullah system, and that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to get them to accept the defeat. So every time he says defeated, I'm thinking he's thinking, oh, they lost and they're gonna accept surrender, and that's just not gonna happen. That's not realistic.
Yeah, but what if it's a surrender deal, not a peace deal? Like, what if the terms of the deal are stuff that will basically paralyze the regime and make them fall, or leave them vulnerable to future attacks?
I know that's not a possibility. They're never going to accept this surrender deal. Are they going to publicly say, "Oh, we accept that you're going to come in and take this uranium. We accept that they were never like this is just this is on another planet maybe, but not this one."
Yeah, but as long as they push for that and accept nothing but that, then they're gonna either the impossible will happen and they will submit and surrender, or you keep hitting them with that goal in mind until the whole thing falls.
The only surrender deal I see happening is Golubov says, "Look, I declare this to be an unfit and unexisting government. I'm gonna give you the papers and sign them that it's an unconstitutional Mustafa. This whole regime has gone against the constitutional, format, organization of the government. This is not a government that exists. So I'm gonna fuck off to France or fuck off to Russia." And here's the paper that says this is an illegitimate government. So you go and declare a government in exile. That's the only surrender deal I would accept. If Golubov wants to sign that in Pezhishkian and they want to just fuck off to France or wherever, that's fine. But this Sisyphusian, Sisyphus, the guy that rolls the boulder up every morning. Yep. Oh, they're going to accept the deal now because they're defeated. They're going to accept the deal now. That's not going to fucking happen. It's never going to fucking happen. So I don't like it.
Okay, but here's a steel man of what's happening for President Trump. Saddam, for example, right? Saddam, a lot of people think Saddam fell because the Americans invaded Iraq and then they finished the job in 2 weeks, right? Was it 2 weeks? I think 2 weeks, right? But that's not why Saddam fell. Saddam's fall started years before the American invasion, right? It was death by 1,000 cuts. So it was all the pressures, all the previous attacks, all of the sanctions, so this is what we're seeing right now. Is it might be death by 1,000 cuts of the Islamic Republic. It's slower, but it will, like, the ceasefire, then hitting them back, then ceasefire. I'm not saying I honestly prefer like getting it over with, like just getting it over with, taking it out like a tumor that it is. But even if they don't do that, I agree with everyone else here. That's our preference, because the Iranian people are suffering and the world is suffering for having this disease called the Islamic Republic. And we all would prefer that we could get rid of it faster. But even if that doesn't happen, all of this, talking about deal, negotiation, MOU, ceasefire, and then hitting you again, this is draining. Like, the Islamic Republic is bleeding. And every time we stop, like the stopping hurts them, the attacking hurts them, both sides. Like, both the ceasefire hurts them and the military operations hurt them all the time. In fact, the ups and downs of it hurts them even more than if you were consistent with one of them. Like, I think that if the Islamic Republic would have preferred either like a continuous ceasefire or a continuous military operation, what they would prefer one of these. What hurts the Islamic Republic the most is this up and down, ebb and flow, keep doing it and then stopping it, I think that hurts the Islamic Republic even more. And I think if you keep at it, even if it's slower, eventually it will weaken the Islamic Republic for when the Americans and Israelis want to do the final blow, is completely vulnerable and defenseless, and makes the cost associated with the final blow a lot smaller.
That's a completely un-American view of the problem. The problem you have here is the midterms. The problem you have here is that America's not going to wait 2 years. America's not going to push this boulder up that hill 2 years. You got to deal with this problem now because you got the midterms now, and then in 2 years you got an election. You got to get this shit done now. You can't wait 2 years. We can't. That's an un-American view of what's happening, which I understand. People do have a view of what's happening with Iran that is not America-centered because they're not in America. You have people in Iran. You see the problem with Iran. Americans who aren't paying attention and will not pay attention until 2 months from now, that's a problem because they're going to want this shit dealt with. Like having this outside perspective, 1,000 cuts, boulder up that hill for 2 years problem, what you're going to wind up with is a Democrat like Obama that's just going to give them money and let them regain power. And if you don't want that, you gotta like put the pressure on, let's do this now. You can't wait, Steel Man. Like, I understand we are having both sides of this argument, but I would say to the people that respect and like Trump, you got to put the message out there to whoever's talking, whispering in his ear, hey, we got to get this done down. These people cannot be dealt with. You got to go for literal regime change.
So, just to be fair, like, just to be clear, my view is not un-American. I just want to add to that. I'm not negating. Okay, my view is not un-American. I actually pay very close attention. Like, I've been talking about the midterms, about the internal politics of America a lot. You know, we could say that my views are wrong, but it's not un-American. I've been talking to you and other Americans and paying close attention to American politics when it comes to what's happening here. And I've been talking about the midterms more than most people, to the point that so many people tell me to stop talking about the midterms. So I don't think my views are un-American. And also, I didn't suggest, just to be clear, I didn't suggest that I like this option. I was clear about that, right? I was suggesting that this, even if we go with this, even if this is what's happening, it will still lead to the fall of, it could still lead to the fall of the Islamic Republic with death by 1,000 cuts. I was pretty clear saying that obviously my preferred option, like yours, Monkey, is for us to basically finish the job fast.
I mean, America-centered. I mean, un-American sounds like it's it's disrespecting America. I don't care about it. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's not America-centered. Like, you gotta understand the damage that Obama did. You gotta understand that if there is a shift, it's gonna be a big problem. It could be 1,000 cuts or it could be 1,000 band-aids, and you don't want 1,000 band-aids on their cuts. If you have a drastic shift in policy in America, they will come back stronger. The technology has changed, which means they could heal faster, at least militarily, and that's a real problem. Like, I know you're steel manning, you're giving the opposite. Like if you told me to steel man it, then I have to take the opposite position, and I might say some of the same things you're saying. So this isn't about like a you and me thing. I'm just trying to tell the people that you're trying to echo, hey, we need to deal with this now. This needs to get dealt with now, and this talk of keeping this regime in power will be incredibly costly in the midterms. And whoever is telling this man that there can be a deal made and that they are accepting a defeat, and them saying they're defeated is good. Defeat is not enough. You got to remove them.
I got that part. Like, yeah, but just to also be clear one more time, like, I know you weren't saying un-American as an anti-American, but even if you mean American-centric, again, that's what I was referring to. I do pay close attention. Maybe I get it wrong, but I actually, people here know that I do consider American politics. In fact, I'm known for that. Like, every time I'm talking about Israel, I take the internal politics into account. Every time I'm talking about America, I take the internal politics into account. So it's not true that I have an un-American perspective, even if it means
that's
like
not what I said.
American. Yeah, okay. I'm just clarifying. Clarifying.
I think we've clarified it 20 times. Do we got to do this? Let me clarify. No, let me clarify. No, let's not do this.
No, when I'm going to clarify something, I think it's. I mean, as long as I'm not repeating myself. But yeah, somebody Boogeyman is saying, is it me or is Monkey being a little aggressive the last 2 days with Armin? It's fine. I don't mind.
I'm
It. It's
aggressive
okay.
all the time. That's the point. That's why I'm here, because I'm chimp out. That's
Yes.
the attractive. That's the selling point.
Yes, but again, so yeah, Mikey, when something when my view is being described as an American, I'm going to clarify. Okay, let me do that. Don't get upset. Okay,
I
we
want
got
to
some
bring
super
something
chat.
to the audience. Like, the person that tells me to chimp out the most is Armin. Like, I try to be
Yes,
more calm, and Armin is
that's what I
always telling
say.
me to chimp out. So you guys don't think that I'm doing something wrong when I'm chimping out. This is something I'm encouraged to do.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. And then Justin, thank you so much for the super chat saying U.S. Marines going Ayatollah hunting soon. Get what is this, Monkey? Do you want to read that?
U.S. Marines going Ayatollah hunting soon. Get some
Ayatollah.
Marines.
Get some Marines. What does that mean? This is
Like Marines, like have Marines go inside the
I know.
line, grab that, like get some.
Okay, but
Like,
some is not. No, I know what Marines is, but I just. Okay. Now I get it. You're rated like that because you don't have enough room in the super chat. Because I was like, why is it?
no,
written like
they
this?
$5. He's got room. Americans hate
Okay.
grammar.
Oh, okay. See, okay, thank you. Americans hate grammar.
Like to us, grammar Nazism is still Nazism.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, my yeah, U.S. Marines going Ayatollah hunting soon. Get some Marines. Okay, got it. But you know what? When it's like this, I should just let Monkey read it. But sometimes I don't get it. Thank you, Justin. And then say it with a super chat saying, hello, Durud, hola, and shalom, everyone. You know what? I should add hola because whenever Monkey is here, I should just remember to add hola at the beginning as well. I'll try to remember. Okay, I'll try to remember. That's a good one. Thank you, Sayed. Yeah. Hello, Durud, hola, and shalom. Okay, good. Oh, no. Hello, Durud, and shalom, and hola. Hola, not hola. Hola. Am I pronouncing it right? Hola? The H is silent? Yes, probably.
Yes, it's silent.
Okay, hold on. Aristotle and Plato with a super chat saying, un-American view is a gambit that may pay off. What do you think about that, Monkey?
Not in the midterms. Maybe after.
Yes. But what some people in the chat, every time I talk about the midterms, sometimes somebody in the chat is like, Armin, the midterms, it's not about the midterms. Trump doesn't care about the midterms. And they like criticize me for bringing up the midterms. How should I respond to that, Monkey?
I tell that person you're statistically meaningless. The numbers say it is important.
Oh my God. Okay. You are again, this is what I'm going to respond next time. You are statistically meaningless.
Use it. Borrow it. Use it. I encourage it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Aristotle. What is the
by the way, no offense to Aristotle, like, take it like, as like we're saying. He wasn't saying
not in
that.
response to him. He wasn't.
Sorry,
saying
Aristotle. Love you, homie.
I love you. I was talking about other people who were saying that. Yes. Okay, you want to read this one from Justin?
Justin says Alfred's story in The Dark Knight of the guy who discarded all the diamonds really hit home. He said, "Some men can't be bought, can't be reasoned with. Some men just want to watch the world burn." That's the Islamic Republic, folks. Like, he's talking about Batman in The Dark Knight, like that. Like, it's a movie, Batman movie.
Yes.
And some people do want to, like, you can't buy them, you can't do anything with them. They're not logical actors, and there's nothing they want other than to watch the world burn.
Yes, there are people like that, and I think the Islamic Republic comes closest to that. I mean, they literally want to burn, like they say that they want to basically destroy the current world order. That's what they say, to bring Islamic world order in its place. So yeah, actually, if there's anybody in the world that quote applies to, it is the Islamic Republic the most, more than anyone else, for sure. Good quote, Justin. And then you start this next couple. You want to highlight that?
Yes.
You start this one? Okay.
He's American. He doesn't speak English. That's right. I speak Merkin.
Right.
I guess. Yeah, with an M. Merkin.
Merkin. Okay. That's good. All right. Let's go to more of President Trump here.
111 missile shots.
You know, President Trump sounds like you a lot these days with that background noise. Look at this. Guys, Trump sounds like monkey. Look at this. It's like,
111 missile shot a few weeks ago by our lovely friends from Iran. They were aimed at the Abraham Lincoln, which is a beautiful aircraft carrier, by the way. The SS Abraham Lincoln, 111 in a short period of time. Out of the 111 missiles shot, 111 missiles were knocked into the sea easily. Think of that.
okay, we've heard that before. This is a recent video, but we've heard that before. But this comment here that happened yesterday, this is kind of new comment. Watch this.
You came to the conclusion that you couldn't negotiate with the IRGC. Does that mean that you might wipe them out like you did ISIS?
Yeah, it does. We will see what's happening. We received a call just as I was coming here. They want to meet. They always want to meet. But, this should have been done by other presidents for many years, for 47 years, but really a lot longer than that. And it wasn't. And I never understood.
Let me just pause here, Monkey. What is the point of meeting with them and talking with them if you're acknowledging that they cannot be negotiated with? Like, what is the point? Like, I'm not saying there's no point, but I'm asking, what is the point?
Look, right now he said eliminate them like ISIS. So that would make meetings pointless. Why would you have a meeting if you know you're not going to make a deal? Subterfuge. Make them believe there's a path to a deal. Make them believe that there is a way. Make them believe that they're going to survive, that they can move, that they can talk. Like, that would be the only thing. If you're going to eliminate them like ISIS, like wipe them out, yeah, you would make them believe that they can talk and then just, I don't know, not talk or, yeah, sure. Yeah, sign the paper, whatever you want, but keep hitting them and keep hitting them and keep hitting them and keep hitting them until they don't have not an army, but not an army or a police force. Like, no ability to enforce anything they want on anyone in Iran.
Okay, but at what point, if you don't see, so right now the level of escalation is not to your liking, you want a lot more, right? By what point, if it doesn't get to that level, like, would you be disappointed? I mean, I think you're already disappointed, but you've really like start getting really, upset with President Trump. Like, by what date, if there is any date that you could put your hand
September 1.
September 1. So if by
okay,
September
look, I'll
1,
push it. It can't be October. It has to be September. It has to be like, you have to have such a surge as far as bombs that I'm talking about every in-house, outhouse, doghouse, anything that has to do with the IRGC. That means police, that means a military, that means government buildings, anywhere where they gather, their tax office, anything that's a government building, not just like everything, anywhere that they gather, they would have to have no center to gather. It has to be a complete elimination of anything to do with the government, taking away not just their ability to wage war, but their ability to police the people. And if they can't police the people, they can't hold them back. Like, how are you going to control the crowds if you don't have a police station? If you destroy the place where they have all the guns that they're going to go use against the people, how are you going to control the people? If you destroy every police truck, every police car, every pickup, everything where they mount a weapon onto, how are they going to do anything against the people? Like, we have the ability to hit a motorcycle. We can definitely hit every police car. We can definitely hit every pickup that they mount stuff onto. Like, that's what I want to see. That's the level. If you destroy every single police station, everything, that's what I want to see.
Okay, so but all right, and if that doesn't happen by the end of September, what are you gonna say?
I think it's a problem. What am I gonna say? Well, I'm still not gonna vote for a Democrat.
Of course,
I'm still not gonna support Democrats, but I think you would have to show something like that, give indications like that, show the people something like that, to say, look, we eliminated the government. They still have some hidden bases that they shoot out from at the Gulf, but they don't even have police stations to control the people anymore. I think what do you think would happen if they destroy every police station? every besiege station, every pickup truck they have, every police car they have. What do you think would happen in Iran?
True. Yeah. No, that's the level of escalation I want to see for sure. I agree with you on that. We got a super chat, which I saw this, I couldn't believe it, so I was waiting for more confirmation. Don is saying, Armin, Mossad or Iranians decided Khamenei needed cremation to be cremated more instead. See pics of where he was buried on fire. Yeah, I mean, I had this ready. I just don't know if this is real because it's hard to believe that this is happening. So I was just waiting for more confirmation from somebody, like saying, "Looks like hell was so hot that Khamenei's corpse caught fire, ablaze at his burial site. So sweet, Allahu Akbar." Can somebody tell me what is it? Is this real? I can't believe this is real. Yeah, I'm not gonna believe this until this is confirmed somewhere else. Let me see. Do we see this on Shin?
But are they saying it's a fire or a strike? Because that's two very different things. Fire, anybody locally can go make a fire there. Yeah, I've seen someone in the chat saying that's rubber burning. Like, yeah, somebody could have turned some tires on or something. So I don't know if that's sabotage or like a strike.
That's still a big deal that they managed to do this, if it
100%.
is the case. Yeah. But I'm not seeing it anywhere official being posted. Let me see. Nope, I'm not seeing it. Oh. Yep. I'm assuming if something that this was real, they would be posting about it more. But I'm not seeing it anywhere. But yeah, I saw this being shared. Interesting though that people are sharing that. Thank you, Don, for bringing that to our attention. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and if it gets reported in somewhere more official, I'll bring it up again because it is a big deal if this is real. So, Mark of Reality just gave us a super chat. Oh, Monkey, this is addressing you. Do you want to respond to this?
All right, Michael Rivera, Monkey is wrong. This campaign will be going off on after the midterms. I never said it wasn't. If you make up what I said, it would be wrong, but that's not what I said. So you're making up another reality where I said that because that's not what I said. I didn't say, oh, it has to stop by the midterm. I said the level of escalation has to increase drastically before the midterms so that the declaration is not, oh, they want a deal. It's, oh, look at what we physically did. And that's the reality of what's happening. So not only am I right in reality, what I'm saying is happening in reality. And I never said it has to stop. I said that it has to increase dramatically to the point that the claim of victory goes beyond, oh, they want a deal, oh, they accept the defeat. That's what I'm talking about. And it will not affect the election. Well, you're statistically meanings because all the statistics says it will be affect the election. If your opinion is controls, several a million votes, hundreds. We have a lot of people in USA. So having this belief about what you think doesn't make you right. Worrying that this is going to be an issue will put the Dems' power on the black. The Dems are going to do that anyway. You think the Dems are not going to do that? You think that I can manifest? I'm not a lefty. I don't manifest things into existence. If I just cheer, everything's going to be okay. No, you got to put the pressure on. And they are putting the pressure on. Like the president's doing what I'm saying. He's not doing what you're saying. So I don't know what you're talking about. Normies don't care. They don't care now. They will care when they can't escape it. The problem with the midterms is that all of these talking points become unavoidable. That's why I'm talking about September, because by September, this shit will be unavoidable. They'll be getting it through their, eyes, nose, and ears, just everywhere, over and over. That's the problem, that the midterms is not, the normies don't care until they can't stop hearing about it. The normies don't care until it's in every ad, it's in the radio, it's in the TV, it's in their Twitter feed, it's in their Instagram. That's when they start caring. And that's going to happen whether you like it or not. And it's going to bring all the failures and all the successes into the highlight. And by then, we better be able to put it out there. Hey, look at what we did. Look at what we did. Well, look at what we did. To such a difference from the beginning to the end that the left can't say, hey, it's just the same thing for 6 months. That's the point. I didn't say it's going to end. I said we have to show a difference. We have to show a surge so large that when September comes, we can say, look, we tried. When we couldn't do anything, look at how fucked up they are right now. Look at how we fucked. Look at this. Look at this. This is airtight. We got them from every angle.
Okay, look at this. Thank you, Mark of Reality. Thank you for the super chat.
Oh yeah,
How
thank
do you
you.
respond to? Thank you. How do you respond to this?
I don't know where you're getting your polls. Why would I believe you?
No, read them first.
Oh, Red Kings. All the new stat polls say we are doing good. What do you mean we?
No, well,
I don't understand. That
okay,
we're gonna win?
So Monkey, when people are saying something like they're not asking you to necessarily believe them, but we could check. We could like you could tell them if it's correct or not. Like it's not coming with the demand to believe them, right? We could check and we could tell them why they're right, why they're
Look,
wrong.
I'm gonna tell you what right now. Every stat that has ever been taken at this far away from an election is going to say something drastically different than what is said during a month or 2 months out to the election. So the stats that you want to focus on is number one, the aggregate, number one, the central right and right polling, because those are the ones that might come out. That's like an indicator. These aren't hard set. These are indicators. The indicators are saying we need to start getting this done. We need to start getting this done. Like we're having those alarm flares, right? But you can't go off everything is fine now, and from that extrapolate that everything is going to be fine in 2 months. That's number one. Number two, I would have to look at the statistics. I would love it if you told me what poll you're talking about, because we have very biased polls, and then we have aggregate polls that take the right and the left into account, and then there's some polls that are like, what is it? Lyrical politics? Is that the one? Lyrical politics? Yeah, some people are saying fake polls. Like half the chat says we're fine. The other half of this chat says we're not fine. Those are fake polls. So like I can't go off one person. That's why I say, hey, guys, I'm statistically meaningless. Armin is statistically meaningless. Everyone is statistically meaningless. We got to look at the data. And don't take it personal. I hope you don't take it personal.
Look at what Bill is saying. Do you agree with Bill?
Basically, if it drags, like if it keeps going like it is, like for months, Americans will increasingly side against Trump. Yes, that's exactly what's going on, because they're coming to the table. They're coming to the table. 1 month. They're coming 2 months. They're coming to the table. They're defeated. They're coming to the. Then why is this? If they're defeated, why is this going on? You have to understand what defeated means. The word defeated doesn't mean, oh, they keep going. The word defeated doesn't mean they keep firing. That's not what the word means. You have to like change what the dictionary definition is. If this is defeat, defeat doesn't mean they keep fighting. Defeat doesn't mean they keep firing. Defeat doesn't mean they have the power still to affect shipping. Defeat doesn't mean they still have the power to affect the strait. Defeat means defeat. You can't change the definition of defeat. And people are not like super geniuses, but they know what defeat means. And defeat doesn't mean you can still control and affect all these things.
So he Monkey, here's what I asked Gemini, and I'm not saying it's true because Gemini is saying it, right? And the summary of it again, but looking at the polls that Gemini has access to, and again, I know it's biased, I know it's lefty, but I just want you to respond to it. This is what AI is saying, and I'm using the pro extended version, right? It's saying the statistical consensus indicates that the ongoing military campaign against the Islamic Republic is politically damaging, driving up domestic inflation and alienating critical independent voters ahead of November, unless the administration can swiftly stabilize energy markets and resolve the conflict. Republicans face a highly unfavorable electoral environment in the House of Representatives. So how do you respond to that?
Thank you for proving me right. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying.
Okay, but this suggests that like if the military operations escalate, they have to be able to finish the job.
No, there's a key word in there. You have to win. It's not just finish, it's win.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Thank you for clarifying. But do you think that if they escalate like now, they will be able to win before November?
The option is doing nothing, and that's worse. They have to escalate and win. It's not just not escalate. It's not wait after midterms, because after midterms leaves the same problem. You didn't get the win. Like, you have to get the win. That's what's important. It can be a visual win. It can be a military win to the point where they can't attack. But you can't claim defeat if the guy is still hitting you. Like, even if he's lost 2 legs and he just has 1 arm and he's hitting you with 1 arm, he's still hitting you. You can't say you defeated him. You got to cut metaphorically both arms and the head and burn it. And because defeat is something that people understand. And you can't say you defeated these people if they're still attacking the strait and they can still hold back shipping.
So Steve is saying Gemini isn't biased. LOL. Well, I say that because I know a lot of people get their guards up whenever you use AI. But like, oh, AI, Armin, you're so naive by using AI. That's why I said it, to basically get people's guards down. And so Steve saying Gemini isn't biased. LOL. Depends on the sources it's using. This is why every time I ask a question from Gemini, I ask it to make sure that it gives me the sources that it used. So here are the sources that it used: Council of Foreign Affairs, Council on Foreign Relations, Bookings Institute, the Polish Institute of International Affairs, Marist poll, YouGov, and the Economist poll. So those are the sources that it use. So judge based on whether or not you accept those sources or not. Okay. Do you want to respond to this? Quickly respond. Oh my God, there's so many. You're starting so many things. You want to respond to those stars and then go back to President Trump?
Okay, we're gonna talk about the Black Knight. 'Tis but a flesh wound. 'Tis but a scratch. The Black Knight. It's just a flesh wound. I'll gnaw at your ankles. Yes, that's kind of the situation. We gotta just like make it so these people can't attack the strait, and that's very difficult. I think the best way to do that is either you destroy every single structure physically that can attack the people and the strait. And with having them stop attacking the strait is harder. But if you make it so they can't attack the people, they'll be so worried about the people that they don't care about the strait because they won't have enough personnel, right? Maybe. This is just me like brainstorming out here. But I think if you have an option right now, if I'm Trump right now, and I got to say, look, I got to show some kind of victory before the midterms, because I can't sit here and say they're defeated every day for 4 months and they're doing the same thing every day. Like, okay, so if they're defeated yesterday, they're defeated today, they're defeated. What does defeat mean? Am I reshaping the meaning of the word defeat? You can't just keep saying defeat. If they're defeated, how can they keep attacking shipping? How can they keep doing this? How can they keep affecting the strait? How can they keep launching missiles at Jordan? How can they, like, you can't say defeat and have a force that can launch missiles, launch drones, attack the strait. You can't do that. Like no matter how much, oh, this is a leftist talking point. Yeah, that doesn't mean it's not a fact that the missiles aren't going out. The missiles are factually going out. They're factually hitting Jordan. The drones are factually coming out. So you need to surge. There's no choice. Or try to make a deal with people that aren't going to like stand by it.
Yeah, by the way, guys, Monkey is saying this as a Trump fan, okay? Like, he's like, if you're new here.
Yeah, I like Trump. He's the best one, this best president I've ever had. I don't want Newsom. I don't want Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna is probably the most likely Ro Khanna AOC ticket or something like that. I don't know if she's old enough. But Ro Khanna's probably stronger on the ticket than Newsom. I don't want a Ro Khanna ticket. I don't want Newsom. I don't know. Whatever they bring, I don't want it. I want the conservatives to win. The biggest win that we have right now is that the SAVE Act passed Congress and the home front is looking so bad that they might win the midterms anyway. That's the only thing that would say, well, maybe they win anyway. But you're gonna make the center people not care. Like the left side might not vote because they're left center, might not vote because they're not motivated. Like, look, these people don't even represent my blue dog Democrat values. I don't want to vote for them. What you don't want to do is have the center right not vote because they're disillusioned over what's going on overseas and the price of stuff. That's what you don't want.
So I know I'm, sorry again, guys. I know some of you hate AI. I'm just gonna I asked Gemini for clarification. I just wanted to see how Monkey responds to this. Okay, so I'll read this. Okay, a monkey. Don't get angry with me. Get angry with AI if you don't like it with the Gemini. Again, it's using the sources. Is YouGov, Economist, Emerson College Polling, and APNORC and Ipsos. Okay, so that's the sources that it's using, and it's saying the polls do not suggest that President Trump's need to get a massive victory to survive the midterms. Instead, the data unequivocally demonstrates that the pursuit of this victory is what is currently destroying his midterm viability, escalating the current conflict further to secure a definitive win in quotations, against the Islamic Republic, would likely how do you pronounce this?
Exacerbate.
Okay, exacerbate.
It's like masturbate, but more exacerbatory.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That exacerbate. My masturbate exacerbate. Okay. The very economic conditions, specifically energy prices tied to instability in the Persian Gulf, that are driving voters toward the Democratic Party. The current statistical consensus reveals that the electorate views the military engagement against the Islamic Republic as a severe economic determinant, preferring immediate de-escalation over a protracted quest for decisive victory. Consequently, the administration's midterm survival hinges not on a massive military triumph, but on mitigating the domestic financial fallouts caused by the conflict. Voters are punishing the administration for the economic consequences of the war against the Iranian regime rather than demanding further escalation. So, Monkey, respond to that.
I would say thank you for telling me I'm right, because what it's saying is that, like, basically what it's saying, you can't get a definitive win. You just need a win. Like, he needs to something that's not the same. He needs to win. So that might be done militarily through escalation, but it can't be the same. It can't be the same thing over and over. You just can't keep doing the same thing and calling it a win. You have to escalate, step back, then allow the offshoring and friendshoring. I know he's pumping up Alaska to make Alaska put out a whole lot of oil. He's pumping up Venezuela to make that production ramp up at lightning speed. He's trying to make Argentina, Brazil. We went over the countries that are ramping up production. If he can ramp up production while he's hitting, he gets the economic win of not having the oil markets upset because he's offshoring and friendshoring the output of oil. And he also gets to say, even if it's not a definitive win, hey, I escalated this to the point that we don't really have to be that much in there anymore.
Okay, so here I think Justin agrees with you. We got a super chat. Do you want to read this?
Yes, Monkey, as a historical trend is incumbent president party loses seats in Congress midterm, we have to energize the base to overcome that trend. Trump needs a B1 day to run. This is also true. Another reason that he needs that victory is because usually if you're in power, you lose the midterm. This is a steady pattern. The only way to counter that is to have a big victory. You need big victories in the economy, and you need big victories in the military. And that's a way to get over that historical trend. That's probably the only way. Now, is this a normal presidency? No, because normally a president doesn't stay out for 4 years and come back. We have a lot of things in this presidency that's unprecedented. The border surge is unprecedented. How much the Democrats are the reveal of the amounts of fraud in the voting system and in the economics system when it comes to tax dollars. That's very revealing. We have a lot of things that are unprecedented that may shift the balance. One of those things is the military. All those things have to be put together so that if you care about the military, we got a victory there. If you care about our tax dollars being wasted, we got a victory there. If you care about the safety of the election, we got because you got to remember, Democrats are being disenfranchised too. If you wanted Karen Bass in California and you got Nithya, whatever her name is, you got a 5% increase. Like, even Democrats are getting disenfranchised. because their candidates are not, the ones that they pick. If you go statistically by logic, something's happening that they're not getting elected. So even Democrats are losing choice, and some of them are got to be pissed about that. So there's wins in every category, and we need wins in every category to win the midterms, because usually we don't. We have a president in office, we don't win the midterms. That's why you got to win on every front, because it's historically difficult to do what we're trying to do in this midterm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Justin, for the super chat. And thank you, Monkey. And let me unstart this. Okay, we should play what President Trump said.
Okay,
here.
one
This
more
is
thing.
the-
One more thing. People are saying who wanted carrot best. Look, it's the option between herpes and AIDS. No one wants herpes, but it's better than AIDS.
Is it though? Because AIDS is manageable. These I'm just never mind. All right, let's continue.
I
At
never
least you
had
don't
either.
look
So
it. Yeah, I heard it's manageable these days, so I don't know. But let's continue. Maybe herpes and cancer. Nobody, then herpes is better than cancer. All right, let's continue. Let's watch this one.
You came to the conclusion that you couldn't negotiate with the IRGC. Does that mean that you might wipe them out like you did ISIS?
Yeah, it does. We will see what's happening. We received a call just as I was coming here. They want to meet. They always want to meet. But, this should have been done by other presidents for many years, for 47 years, but really a lot longer than that. And it wasn't. And I never understood why, but now I do. Because if you're not going to do it the way I'm doing it, you're never going to make a deal with them. They were very difficult. They're good negotiators. They were tapping everybody along for 47 years. Then Obama came in and he just offered them, a fortune of money. He paid them off. 1.7 billion in green cash and hundreds of billions of dollars. And that really set everyone else back, because they started wanting to make nuclear weapons. And then we hit them just about a year ago, with the B-2 bombers, and that ended that. So we got a little bit lucky. Our timing was a little bit lucky.
Yeah. So, Mr. President, Dan Kane, Raising Kane, is your chief of staff.
Right.
He was the one, or Joint's chief of staff. He was the one who wiped out ISIS.
That's right.
Could he be tasked then now to wipe out the IRGC if you can't negotiate?
Well, we're going to be in good shape. I mean, they are really, they've been depleted. Their weapons are down 91%. The drone capacity is way down. They still have, but not a lot. Their manufacturing capacity is down. Their rocket launchers and their missile launchers are way down. Their missiles are way down. They're probably depleted by 88, close to 90%. Now, that doesn't mean there's still not danger, and there is. They're nasty people, but they want to make a deal. I can tell you they want to make a deal, and you don't have to be a genius to realize when you see what's happening to them every night. And now today we gave them a little daytime shot too. So this should have been done, not by me. This should have been done a long time ago, long before me.
What do you think about all that?
look, if he destroys them like ISIS, fine. I don't care if they want to make a deal. They always want to make a deal. Repeating that doesn't do anything for me. Repeating that they're defeated doesn't do anything for me. I want to see them defeated. What was weird for me is watching the Dow just keeps going up. Did you see that? The Dow on the bottom right just going up and up and up and up. And the General Dynamics is going down, and Lockheed is going down, and Lockheed is going down. I'm like, I don't understand that. Like maybe it's like just a ticker thing that does that for a little while in the day, but the Dow is just up and up and up. Which is, that's a good thing.
So I always only just look at it year over year, like the daily up and down. So year over year is up 20%, which is fantastic. But beautiful.
What about year to date?
Year to date, I don't care. No, that year to date, I don't care because it's so arbitrary. Like that period, year to year is more important to me than year over year to date. But hold on, look at this. I wanted to get your opinion about this Truth Social post by President Trump. This happened yesterday, and we watched it with Ellie. I wanted to see your reaction on this. Oh, you should read it. You want to read it?
Iran has allowed an American citizen who was wrongfully detained in December of 2024 under the presidency of Sleepy Joe Biden to leave the country. She is now safely outside Iran and in good condition. The United States of America appreciate this gesture of goodwill by Iran, President Donald J. Trump. You know what? like you can't slap that back because there's probably more. Like I don't think that's the only one. Like if I had to count them, I would probably say there's, I don't know, 100. How many Americans are within their custody? Like you can't slap that back. If they want to, like I wouldn't say, that's not saying that's going to have an effect. That's saying thank you for this, right? This may be an overture, a gesture to get back to the table, and you could just take that. Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, we're going to talk and keep striking, keep striking, keep striking, keep striking. Do what they do. They lie about a deal and keep striking, so we lie about a deal and keep striking. And say, what? You do the same thing. What are you talking about? No, we're still talking. Sure. There's going to be a peace, buddy. Just keep striking, keep striking.
But okay, so yeah, and this is probably when President Trump came out and said that we're going to basically destroy this and that, we're going to hit their infrastructure, we're going to hit their bridges. What I think happened here is Ghalibaf got on the phone with President Trump and he wanted to do something to hold President Trump back, and this is what he could come up with. This is probably Ghalibaf desperately trying to get President Trump not to react too aggressively, right? I'm not saying it's going to work, but this is probably Ghalibaf's doing.
Look, I completely agree. The thing is, I would still want that number. I have no idea on what the number is of American hostages possibly in Iran. Or like, you got to remember, sometimes it's a dual citizen. And they're gonna say, oh, you're more American than not, stuff like that. But I would want to know anyone, even tangentially, that you could call an American citizen that they have, and you give all those back. Now we're talking.
So I have the number. So following the historic release of U.S. citizen Dena Karari, I think that's the person. Yep, this is basically what happened right now. Yesterday, the Iranian regime still holds at least 2 officially designated wrongfully detained American citizen journalist Reza Valizadeh and grandfather Kamran Hekmati, along with several other green card holders and citizens whose cases remain unpublicized. Despite diplomatic channels remaining open, the safety of these captives is in extreme jeopardy as military tensions flare up near the Persian Gulf. So the Iranian regime continues to hold between 2 and 8 American citizens and permanent residents hostage in Tehran's Evin prison, even after the recent release of Dena Karari. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
I probably want all 8.
8, yeah.
But like the whole time that those 8 are getting released, I can keep bombing.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, even after, you could keep bombing even after.
Yes, indeed. See, you're getting it.
Right. I mean, that's what I want what you want. Okay.
Oh, you're going to like this. You're going to like this. You're going to like this a lot.
Yeah. Okay, let's watch it.
Fox News alert, Trump's giving Iran the big squeeze. For the first time in the war, we're launching airstrikes while the blockade's in full effect. Plus, sanctions are slapped back. Last night, 47 gave the gay Ayatollah 7 straight hours of bitch slaps. U.S. precision missiles fired from fighter jets, drones, and warships hit dozens of Iranian launch sites, mosquito fleets, and defense systems near the strait. And this morning, Iran woke up to more bombs, over an hour of pounding, hitting cruise missile storage and missile sites near an island base. We're not stopping. Our forces are bombing Iran for the second time today. While the blockade stops anyone without a permission slip, a Curacao flag tanker headed for Karg Island. That's the first ship disabled since we started back up. We shot a Hellfire missile straight through her smokestack. We're also striking deep inside Iran. We hit a railway bridge that's crucial for Iran's trade with Russia and China. So now the land blockade's up right alongside the wall of steel. This was a warning of a bridge before Bridge and Power Plant Day. Now the mullahs are picking up the phone.
Came to the conclusion that you couldn't negotiate with the IRGC. Does that mean that you might wipe them out like you did ISIS?
Yeah, it does. We will see what's happening. We received a call just as I was coming here that they want to meet. They always want to meet. But, this should have been done by other presidents for many years, for 47 years, but really a lot longer than that. And it wasn't. And I never understood why, but now I do. Because if you're not going to do it the way I'm doing it, you're never going to make a deal with them.
They're scraping for leverage. Terror is the only card they have left. So they're flinging drones at their Gulf neighbors. And now the mullahs are after our boys. Iranian politicians want the IRGC to invade one of our bases and kidnap 100 soldiers, hold them hostage in Tehran. Good luck with that.
We had 111 missiles shot a few weeks ago by our lovely friends from Iran. They were aimed at the Abraham Lincoln. Out of the 111 missiles shot, 111 missiles were knocked into the sea. And I called the captain of the ship. He wasn't even sweating. 111 missiles are coming at you. And he's drinking his coffee, taking it easy.
The mullahs can lob as many ballistics as they want. We'll shoot them down. There's nothing they can do to us. That's why we own the Strait.
It's open if people want to go through it. We're not opening it for Iran. That's the only one it's closed for. It's closed for Iran, both in and out, but it's open now. A lot of things have happened, Trey, in the last few months. Pipelines are being built. We're coming up with great alternatives, including Texas, including Alaska.
Nothing leaves unless we say so. And their neighbors are building pipelines around Hormuz. They'll have oil flowing without Iran getting their slimy hands on it. And with the land and sea blockade, they can't get their oil out. So what are they going to sell instead? Pistachios. Now, the commander-in-chief was in the Situation Room. He's being presented with more options. Sources say Carg Island's in play. So's Pickaxe Mountain. David Bellavia.
Wow. I love the way he talks about this stuff.
He was so sassy. He brought the spice that was spicy, that was sassy. I love it. You got to remember, I come from a time when you couldn't say bitch on TV. This is Fox. And he's talking about bitch slapping people. I'm on board. I'm on gay Ayatollahs getting bitch slapped. I said it on TV.
Amazing. Monkey, I do have some concerning. The Islamic Republic does have some leverage that might make things challenging and stop President Trump from doing escalating things further. And this is something that we haven't shown before. Watch this. I think you should call it off. I don't think you guys have any chance.
I'm terrified. I'm horrified. This is unsightly. I don't know how we're going to be able to deal with this. I mean, probably more afraid of their cooking, because the way they're putting the pounds on, they might be good at it. That's where they're dangerous. No, I've heard Iranian cooking is very good.
No, I honestly find the greatest danger is that if you just roll these towards American soldiers, you don't have any chance. I don't think the gun is that dangerous. I think if you just roll them on the ground towards the American soldiers, that would
bowling strategy. It's just like bowling balls. I get it. They obviously don't know what they're doing. That's a very bad way to. They've had a day of training, if anything, just to hold that gun, and they're failing.
Yes. I don't understand what the white flags are. Why are they already holding a white flag? You see that? I was watching this in the Persian show, and I asked Iranians, guys, does the white flag mean something different in Iran than in America? Because in America, it means that we're surrendering or something like that. And they were like, no, in Iran, it means the same thing. So okay, then can somebody explain why are they holding a white flag? Can somebody explain this to me? I don't understand.
Why are they white what extra sad penguins wear?
Yeah, but they're supposed to wear it, not hold it as a flag.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good point. That is an excellent point.
Are they surrendering? I don't know what this is. Is this maybe they lied to these women. They're surrendering to the Americans, and they're offering these women as tribute, as an offering to the Americans.
That's a terrible offering. We have too many fat women in America already. Stop it. Stop it right now. We have a weight crisis. Too many Doritos, too many hot Cheetos. Make it stop.
Make it stop. Okay. Well, Justin is saying March of the Penguins. Yes.
Pretty much,
Good.
yes.
Pretty much. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's do this other update regarding, because we want to see, I know we wanted to see more boom booms than we're getting, but we appreciate the ones that we're already getting right now. So let's enjoy them a little bit.
Definitely an escalation. That's an F-18.
Wow, guys, these are recent, and look at that. That was a Shahed. This car was carrying a Shahed drone, right, at the back. Yep, I think that looks like a drone.
I think that's what it is.
And so here's the explanation. U.S. Central Command says its the latest wave of strikes against Iran has been completed. CENTCOM said U.S. forces struck Iranian command centers, air defense sites, missile and drone capabilities, and coastal surveillance facilities to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. The military said the strikes were carried out at the direction of the commander-in-chief of the U.S. As the U.S. continues operations against Iranian military targets. I think like the main target here should be the driver, because you want to, if you take this, you will just take one drone. But if you take out the driver, then you send a message to everyone else to just don't show up.
Do you think you survive?
I don't think so, but that's what I think the target should be. I mean, look at the target looks. They put the target is obviously the drone, right? But I think the target should be up here, not down here. But I don't think he survived anyways.
Yeah, I think like if you hit the drone just right, it's going to kill anything within like, I don't know, 20, 30, maybe 40 feet of it. Like it's going to be devastating. That guy's probably dead.
Hopefully. This is, you wanted to, you start this comment?
Yes. Props to whoever got that lady out. Check out the lawyer that worked on getting Dana Karari freed. Says I am Marie. Jared Genser, the human rights lawyer nicknamed the Extractor, has managed to free over 340 prisoners from 20 countries in 2 decades. So apparently they had kind of like an expert working on her case. And, that guy, if he's an expert, he might know when it's the best time to move on that. I'm hoping, they could get him to work on the other 8 because, like 1 is too many. 8 is definitely too many. So we would want that back. We want them all back. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And okay, so let's now move to JD Vance, because you mentioned it a couple of times. I want to get your reaction on some of this stuff, right? So, okay, I will let you know what I think about this, and then also want to hear your opinion. So let me just play this. JD Vance was on Joe Rogan yesterday, and his comments angered so many people. So many Iranians are angry, so many Americans are angry, so many Israelis are angry. So there's been a huge reaction to, especially these 35 seconds right over here.
It's not awful. Good. It's not. It's
Not
awful.
good.
It's
Yeah.
not good, right? And so, like, if the Iranian people want to rise up and change their government, that's up to them. But we're not going to send 150,000 ground troops in order to accomplish a change in a regime unless the people on the ground themselves want to accomplish that outcome. Now, we're not going to send the troops in regardless, but like to propose sending in the troops, you're basically saying that the U.S. military should do the job for the Iranian people. We're not in that business anymore. We're just not.
So I don't know if this is JD's fault or the question, but this is not what people have been asking for. People who's asking, like, who's seriously, where is the serious request for regime change with ground invasion? From day one, the Israelis, the Americans, and the Iranians had the understanding that this is not going to happen. So what is this a response to? Like,
Imagine I tell you,
we know.
stop.
Yeah,
Imagine I tell you, hey, we know you drive your car. Please stop speeding. And you say, I'm not going to stop driving. It's like, well, that's not what I asked you. I asked you to stop speeding. It's like, oh, we're not going to just invade and take over. That's not what we asked you. We asked you to help us, stop this regime that's attacking you and attacking everyone around them.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Like the analogy? Is it good?
Exactly. And it's a straw man. It's responding to a position that is not our position. The Iranian people know this. What the Iranian people are saying is that we have an enemy that happens to be your enemy. Okay. If you weaken it enough for us to be able to do an uprising, the Iranian people themselves have been saying that this is our uprising. We are going to do regime change. We just need a little bit of a help to remove the obstacle in our path, or maybe arm the Iranian people, which is basically what I've been advocating for. And this is going to be a great investment for the United States without having troops on the ground. We already have boots on the ground. We have always been saying the boots on the ground are the Iranian people. It's just very difficult to do an uprising when they are unarmed and the regime is armed. If you could weaken the Islamic Republic and arm the Iranian people, then you do not need troops on the ground. And this is not for the sake of the Iranian people. This is for the sake of Americans. This will have the highest return on investment for the Americans. This is the most cost-efficient way of getting rid of your number one enemy, by helping the Iranian people get rid of their enemy and your enemy at the same time. This is what people have been saying since day one. So what is this? Like, oh, we're not going to come do your job for you. Who asked you? Who asked you to come do this? We have always said that this is our revolution and our responsibility. You know why this is so pathetic that they say that? Because Americans, your revolution had foreign support. The American Revolution had French support. The French didn't do your revolution for you. They didn't do your revolution. You did your revolution. The American Revolution was not the French doing a revolution. It was the American Revolution. It was your revolution. But you had foreign support. You had the French supporting you. We want to repeat what you did. This is your history. We want to do our revolution. We're not asking the Americans to come do our revolution for us. We want to do our revolution. But just in the same way that you were successful with some foreign support, we can also be successful with our revolution with some foreign support.
I think like the only strongman a strongman argument, like the only way I can steelman this is to say he's appealing to the retarded right, he's appealing to the isolationist right, and it's just a ploy for the midterms. And the only other steelman is, look, if Trump is my boss and he says go get a deal, I have to try to get a deal. But what I don't like is the framing that he puts the Israelis in, the framing that he's putting the Iranians in. You could speak on all these facts. You could just say, look, I got to get a deal. You guys can hate me all you want, The boss is telling me to go get a deal. What I'm going to do, tell Trump no? Tell Trump this is stupid? No. If there is a path, we have to try. Like, that's how I would approach it, right? But the way he approaches it, the rhetoric he uses, is just not smart. I think one of the things that's coming out to be clear is that this guy is nowhere near as seasoned a politician as Marco Rubio. Because I bet if I send Marco Rubio and he got the same results, I'm not talking about that he would get farther. Maybe he would, like, I think he probably would get farther. But let's say I had sent Marco Rubio and he had gotten the exact same results every time. His rhetoric on the matter would have been much better. He would have represented the points much better and spoken of what the people's wants and needs are much better. This guy does not have the experience. He doesn't have the experience to treat this the correct way. Because of this, he's kind of copying some points from the ISO right, and that's hurting. That's hurting. Like, if it's between JD and a leftist, I'm not going to vote for a leftist. But if he comes up on during the election, there's got to be a lot of changes before the presidential election for this guy to get elected. And I'm like, if I got to choose, I'm choosing Marco. Like, in the primaries, it all goes to Marco.
Yeah. So, by the way, the people who are defending JD Vance in the chat, I'm gonna just mention this one more time. Fuck JD Vance. I understand that if Trump is giving him an order to go get a deal, I completely understand that he has to do what President Trump is telling him. That is different from the language that he has against Israel. Fuck him for that. Like, fuck him for that. Like, the language that he uses against Israel, the language that he has right now about the Iranian people. This man does not understand what he's. I mean, maybe he understands, but he is appealing to the worst people, to the isocox in America, and that's why he knows that is his base of support. When he goes out and does, tries to fight for a deal, yeah, I understand that. He's being given the orders. He's serving President Trump. He needs to go do that. But when he comes and uses this language, which is obviously wrong, there is no need for doing that. There is no need for doing that. Attacking your number one ally, Israel, in that way is not helpful. And I know there is no 5D chess plan here when he's saying that. This is actually maybe when President Trump is using him, maybe that you could argue that that's a 5D chess plan. I don't know, from President Trump. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But this is genuinely what JD Vance is pushing for, because he knows who his base of support is. The base of support of JD Vance, when he uses language like this, is the isolationists, is the anti-Israelis. So don't tell me like, oh, Armin, don't blame him because he's doing what President Trump is not controlling exactly the language that he uses when he goes on Joe Rogan or other places. When he's talking, he has the election in mind. That's what explains the language that he's using. And again, I'm not criticizing him for going at, and to be fair, there are certain times that he has been speaking that I liked it. Like, for example, his speech at NATO to the European countries, so NATO member countries, that was fantastic. I love that speech over there. So I'm not I don't have like a Vance derangement syndrome, right? I did praise him for the speech that he gave at NATO, but his language on Israel and his language on the Iranian people, there is no excuse for it. Anybody who excuses this language is fooling you. Do you have an agenda? Like, I think anybody, for the sake of being politically correct and not making the Trump base upset, they're lying to you because they don't want to. In my opinion, they're lying to you because they don't want to piss off their audience who could see like, oh, I have an audience that is so much pro everything that is even Trump adjacent, that I'm not going to be honest with them. I'm not going to actually give them the real takes because I don't want to alienate them. I'm going to basically manage my language in a way so that I could keep that audience with me. It's a very dishonest. Anybody who is basically avoiding attacking any politician, as long as they're even somewhat Trump adjacent, they're not being honest with you. They're being strategic to keep their audience. Even if you disagree with me, at least I'm going to tell you what I think. You could take it or you could disagree with it, but I'm being honest with you.
Look, this is why I said, and I could hold the position that he's trying to get a deal, hold the position that I have to make it to talk to these people without saying the things that he said. One of the things that, like, I've seen more of this interview, and one of the things that really pissed me off is when they start talking about APAC and influence, because I know that the FARA lobbying for China is 457 million. I know that's a lobby. That's not, I'm not even talking about what they put into university. 457 million from China that would be against us defeating the IRGC. And APAC total spending, every APAC plus lobby, everything is around 95.7. Qatar, 256 million in lobbying, and with what, not against 95.7. Saudis, $310 million against 95.7. UAE, $242 million against 95.7. So when they start talking about APAC and they start talking about influence, he kind of waffles and he says, look, a lot of people have influence and a lot of people put money in. The problem with them is how effective they are. What does that do? So he's hiding that a lot of other people put a lot more money into it. He's hiding that. Why would he hide that? He could just say, look, when we talk about APAC, let's look at the real numbers. A lot of people put a lot more money, and he hides that. I hate that.
I haven't played that clip yet, so I think you should keep that for when
I didn't know it was coming, but you know, this enrages me when they do that shit to Israel.
Yes, me too. Me and you both. And I have a lot to say about that as well. We got 2 super chats here, and then 2 comments that you wait. No, not this one. This one here. So Justin is. I think I started up. Yeah, I'm starting. Sorry, I forgot. Justin saying, JD, you're such a tool. Did the French and Spanish do the job for the Americans in 1781, or do we just need a nudge over the finish line? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly, Justin, me and you, we're connected. That's exactly what I was saying. In fact, here's another thing, Justin. Almost no revolution has been successful without some foreign support. There's look at history. There's very few examples of successful revolutions without some support from outside. And the thing is interesting. Americans were already armed, and they still needed support from outside. The Iranian people are not even armed. The Americans needed foreign support, even while they were armed. And thank you, Justin, for the super chat. Despite, what does this mean? Thank you, Fleshy Monkey. Help me out here.
Despite the Vance, like if I'm guessing if we have any success, it'll be despite Vance, not because of him.
Oh, not because of. Okay. Oh, so here's a super chat saying, no, it's not a super chat, it's a comment. I thought it was funny, so I want to highlight it. It's saying, hey, bastard Armin, stop fooling people. You are the underdog of Islam. I don't know what that means. The underdog of Islam.
That is he trying to accuse you of being
a secret Muslim?
Secret Muslim? I don't understand that.
Yeah. Yes. You all been fooled. All right.
Praise be to Allah. Trump is also a secret Muslim, apparently.
Yes. The real Saw with the super chat, thank you so much, saying JD Vance is a weasel, and not because he's not a big Israel fan, but because he's a people pleaser. He's a weak, and if runs for the country were cooked, Rubio is the future. He needs to stop bashing an ally. JD is low IQ. Interesting. Do you think he's low IQ or maybe high IQ, but trying to appease the worst people? I don't know. Is he? What do you think, Monkey? Do you think he's low IQ,
I think
or does
he is
he know
kind
what
of
he's
a
doing?
people pleaser. I think that is definitely true. I don't know about his IQ. I don't think he's like there's the difference between high IQ, low IQ, midwit. I wouldn't put him at midwit. I wouldn't put him at low IQ. Like, I don't think he's stupid. I think his focus is too much on kind of, I don't think he's focusing on the right message. I think he is being like, you can't be stupid and like, he's purposefully ignoring things. To purposefully ignore things, you have to know them. He's not saying, well, I don't know about the funding. he's avoiding that talk and saying they use it more effectively. That
Yes, which I
requires
will play that
intelligence,
clip.
affection, knowing the knowledge, knowing how to hide it. Like there's a lot of things going on for you able to pull that poison pill in.
Yes, but I do agree that he's like he tries to, like, what he's doing is trying to figure out how to win the upcoming presidential election. He's a people pleaser, and I don't even know if he has any of these beliefs himself, or he just know his base of support. I don't know much. I don't know about his internal intentions, but I do know that his fan base is the isolationist, anti-Israeli part of America, and he knows it, and he needs to. That's why he has all of these horrible ideas and policies. But yeah. So thank you, by the way, the real Sa. Is that how you pronounce it? The real Sa or Sau? Sau?
Sao, I'd say Sao, but I could be
Sau.
wrong.
Sau. Okay. Thank you. And Tao Fei with a super chat saying regime change is toxic for politicians. If we degrade and force IRGC to sign a surrender, it opens the door for Iranians to finish the job. We can and will help with the final push, but we can't do it for you. Obviously, that's what the Iranian people are not asking for it to be done for them, and they just. But they understand. But I'm pretty sure everybody understands the Iranian people would not be able to do regime change until the Islamic Republic the IRGC is weakened, or if the Iranian people are armed. So nobody, like, the idea of like the Americans can't do it for you, like that was never the request. Nobody, no, like, that is not, like, the Iranian people never came out and said, like, hey guys, Americans and Israelis, we're going to go home and go to bed, and can you get regime change done for us before we wake up? Thank you very much. Like, it's not that, like, that's not something that was ever like a request. Like, nobody asked for that. I mean, the Iranian people understand that. The Iranian people understand that this is their revolution. They have been saying this from the beginning, that this is our revolution, it's our uprising. And here's the thing: like, what else do the Iranian people need to do to show that they are going to do the work? They went in early January. They went and faced the regime unarmed in the millions, right? And they paid the price for it. We got one of the greatest acts of massacre in modern history happened over in 10 hours. More than 50,000 Iranians were shot in 10 hours, shot and killed in 10 hours. So the Iranian people are obviously communicating to the world that, yeah, we are going to do the job. Like, look at us. Look what else do we need to do to show that we are going to do the job? We went and faced this evil regime unarmed in the millions, and we paid the price. So the Iranian people are not saying, like, hey, can you please come do a revolution for us? Can you please come do a regime change for us? They always have been saying that this is our revolution, it's our job, it's our responsibility. It's always been their language. And thank you for the super chat.
Look, on this, I'd have 3 points. Well, 4. Like the first one, Trump himself said, you can't do this without guns. Obviously, this is why we have a Second Amendment. Another point is the problem that the proxies pose for us, right? Like people trying to say this isn't about us. Yeah, it is about us. These are the only government still in power that has killed a lot of Americans. No government in power has killed more Americans than the IRGC and its proxies. Right, this is our business. Trying to say it's not our business, this is our business. That's number one. Number two, the capabilities, they are still affecting trade. They are still affecting trade partners. Like, this is something that is still happening. It's not something in the past. It's not something that's related to us. It's something that is within our direct sphere of economic trade. And the fourth is that you have to understand that you don't just forget how to make a ballistic missile. You just don't forget how to make cluster bombs. This means that if they have the capability to reach Diego Garcia, they also have the capability to reach Europe. Like, we have to take these things seriously. This view that this doesn't affect us, this is far away, this is not our problem, like, it's just not a reality. What has been, there's been a wool pulled over our eyes by the media and by other people, so we don't see how much this affects us regularly. That's the real problem, that it's been hidden.
But I started saying, Armin, why are you being defensive? Armin, you're focusing only on 5 words of his whole super chat. I'm not attacking him. What are you talking about? I'm not attacking him. I was just adding my points. His super chat made me think about these other points, and I was responding to him. That was a very good point that he brought up. I'm just like, why are you assuming that I'm attacking him? I wasn't attacking him. Just because somebody says something and it makes me think of something that I want to respond to, that doesn't mean that I'm negating the comment that was being highlighted. You're being defensive. And okay, let me see. Taofe is saying, I agree with you, Armin. I was just stating the obvious. Yeah, I know. I agreed with you. My comments was me agreeing with you. Just saying we're with you and we'll stay with you until the job is done. Javed Shah. Thank you so much. And I hope like other people understand that this is not this is like a win-win for both of us, right? Like this is, I hope like more, and I know you understand this, Taofe. I would just want more Americans to understand that this is not an act of charity. This is not Americans coming to the Iranians and doing something for Iranians. This is something the Americans would be doing for America, right? We have a mutual enemy. Americans helping Iranians bring down the Islamic Republic is for America. This is not an act of charity towards the Iranian people. I mean, I understand that many Americans love to see the Iranian people being liberated because obviously there are good people that don't want to see people being, oppressed like this. Obviously, you're human and you see you get hurt by seeing your fellow human beings being in bondage like that, obviously, right? But at the end of the day, American military should be for Americans, for the sake of Americans. You pay tax money for your protection, not the Iranian people's protection. So, but this is not a charity from America to the Iranian people. The fact that you're gonna you're gonna get happiness from seeing Iranian people liberated, that's a side bonus. That's a bonus. It's not the goal. The goal is to destroy America's enemy. You have a military to destroy your enemies. And if you help the Iranian people bring down the Islamic Republic, that is for America. That's America first. And I appreciate like the Americans here, for like Taofe, for example, wanting to see the Iranian people liberated. I appreciate that. Like everybody should appreciate that, right? But it's important for more Americans to understand that this is not an act of charity. This is a win-win for both the Iranian people and the American people and the Israeli people and the whole world.
I think this is part of my problem when people say, "Oh, we're only back Israel because of their religion." No, we also back the Saudi Arabia, have for decades since the beginning of the petrodollar deal. That has changed, but we still have bases over there. Like Israel is one country. How many Islamic controlled countries do we have bases in? Let's go over the list. Because to say, "Oh, we're only in here for Israel," or we're watching over someone else's interest because of religion, that's false. We're watching over our own interest. That's why we have bases in so many of those places. Like us being there, it's not about them, it's about us. It's about our interest, our international trade, our not letting other people through coercive, violent, and illegal means, because you're not allowed to control a free waterway. That's not their land. We're watching our own interest. It is in our own interest, and the people trying to tell you that it's not in our own interest are probably a lot closer to the $457 million that China is putting into the lobby than the 95 million that APAC puts in. And that's Americans. That's Americans. Like the FARA lobby from China comes completely from the outside. The 200, like there's millions upon millions upon millions in the lobbies telling you to not watch over your own interest. And the people that hide this and try to tell you that this is not in your interest, it's not your problem, are lying to you, deceiving you, and they want to raise another power that doesn't respect individual rights on this earth. And I don't want a power that doesn't respect individual rights, doesn't respect property rights to rise anywhere. So I'm all for the unipolar world. I don't want this ISO cuck duopolar, tripolar, Russia, China, and America are going to share flour. No, fuck that.
Can you, Monkey? Can you respond to the super chat? I need to use the bio break. I'll be right back. 1 minute.
The real Sal comes to us with a super chat. He's a weak leader because he's a people pleaser and he's saying all the dumb podcast bro talking points. He needs to remember IDF kids are dying alongside ours. He's very weak. I'm Arab, but I don't care about the Middle East. Yes. So what I'm guessing is you have a more fair view about like the loss of life that's going on here. And you also understand that we have a vested interest here that these podcast bros and these people under, different kinds of influence. I don't care if it's inside influence, outside influence, doing it for the clicks, whatever you want to call it. These people that are trying to guide us towards a multipolar regime around the world, right? To multipolar regimes around the world. Yeah, I agree with you. We should definitely not fall for that. And then, you added another super chat here from the real Sal. If JD runs the U.S., there will not be a free Iran, free Lebanon, safe Israel, or peace in the Middle East. He's weak and will brown nose the wrong people for votes. That's why he's low IQ. Look, in the larger scheme of things, yes, I think that is a low IQ perspective for him to have. But I get what you're saying about the low IQ. I don't know if he'd waffle back the other way and say, no, I love Israel to get the votes. And then when he's in power, he waffles the other way. This is what makes him weak. It's not that he loves or hates Israel. It's that he waffles. He waffles on Trump. He waffles on Israel. He waffles on all. And you can't have these people waffling back and forth. One of the things that people love about Trump is that he has been consistent, even about taking Carg Island since 1988. Like, he is very consistent about his viewpoints. When you have someone whose viewpoints waffle so drastically as JD does, that's a problem because you don't see a backbone there. It may be because he's kind of young in politics, inexperienced, whatever it is. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know what it is. That's a joke about the eyeliner. I know he doesn't really wear eyeliner. That's just a joke.
So the reason why I don't know if he's low IQ or not is because you're right. You're right, the real South, that this is a bad idea if you have America's intention in mind. But what if your intention is to just win the election and you understand your base of support is isolationist, anti-Israeli isolationists, right? Then even though this is bad for America, is good for JD Vance. So it might be a high IQ move if the goal is not to, benefit America, but to benefit JD Vance. That's why the only reason why. But I do agree that it's a bad idea for America, right? Hey, this Muslim guy in the chat, if you want to stay here and not get banned, stop using all caps. Okay, you could be in the chat and spread your bullshit if you wanted to, and we're not going to ban you for your shit ideas, but stop using all caps. And if you want to stay here, right? If you don't want to get banned, so just
in the previous
normally.
Super chat, Will Sal had said that he's an Arab, but he like understands like the plight of the IDF kids and like all kids, not kids, but like young people in this conflict. And I respect that. I believe this is a person that's over here in the U.S. that's also seeing how it's in our best interest to have an understanding and
he's
some
Lebanese.
involvement here. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I remember that. Oh my God, I'm usually not good at remembering these things, but now I remember. Okay, thank you, Real Sal. Lebanese American. All right, look at this. Ginga with the super chat. So saying, I'm out of the loop. What happened between you and Goldie? Oh, we just went our own way. Nothing serious. I support Goldie. Goldie is great, and I love everything that she does. She's a great voice for the Iranian people. Thank you, Ginga.
I like to say just kind of things like the more perspectives, the better the view. Like you can take her perspective, Armin's perspective. You get different perspectives on a thing. It's a good thing.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Which is a powerful voice. Justin with the super chat saying the right thing to do is let the Iranian people deal the KO
Knockout.
hit. The knockout hit. Yes, okay. They're the ones that went through this 50-year nightmare. Yes, exactly.
You get why I say, hey, you gotta hit every in-house, outhouse, doghouse, guardhouse, police house, everything they got. If you do that, I mean, come on, it becomes way more possible.
Yeah, the Iranian people actually want that knockout hit for themselves. Like they do want it. They do, and they're willing to pay a heavy price for themselves to be get out. Like it's not like. By the way, it's not. It's also not like, hey, Americans, can you just make it so easy for us? Like they're not even. The Iranian people are not saying this either, right? Hey, Americans and Israelis, can you just like beat them up so much that we could just come and just be like, do a push and then make them fall? Like they're not even asking that. Like they're still willing to go in and fight and even sacrifice many more lives for the fall of the Islamic Republic. So don't think when I'm saying like the Iranian people need help, they can't do this by themselves. It doesn't mean that they want this to be so done for them that they could like they are the final push, the final knockout. They understand that that would also require a lot of sacrifice. So, and they're willing to pay it. But it's the difference between an impossible task and a difficult task. Right now, the toppling of the Islamic Republic by the Iranian people unarmed is not a difficult task. It's an impossible task. The help from United States and Israel turns it into a difficult task. They're not saying that make this so easy for us. They're just asking for enough help so that it's not impossible, because they have shown that it's impossible unarmed. They did the sacrifice to show that it's impossible.
Yeah, it's more practical also, like from our standpoint, for them to do it. And that guy is still caps locking, so I guess he's getting banned.
Yes, I mean, Texas troop. If if you see somebody doing all caps, and they're not listening to warnings. By the way, hi Texas troop, I missed you. And guys, thank the mods here. The mods are doing a lot of great work. And also, there's another person that is just posting M in the chat. You will also get banned if you keep just posting M's in the chat. And yeah, the mods could take care of that if you guys want. Oh yeah, okay. She's in the monkey channel. Okay, so do we have any mods here? We don't have any mods here, so maybe I should ban the guy. Okay, I'll ban the person. If I see.
Thank you for being in my channel, Texas. Appreciate you very much.
Yes, monkey's channel. Okay. Yes. Look at this. Fine Stars is saying sketch. The monkey talks in all caps.
I do talk in all caps. Yeah, and there's different rules on my channel, so don't fuck around on my channel.
Yeah. Oh my god, we need some more mods here on my channel. We lost all our mods. They all migrated to the monkey channel. Okay, so we got. Okay, let's go to the next super chat. You want to read this one?
Delfin Ramos, JD can't say what's really going on. I don't know what AOW means. I know Donald J. Trump said no deal. What's going on AOW? What's going on?
I don't know what's happening. This is hard to decode. Sorry, sir. It's hard to decode.
Gracias, Delfin Ramos. Thank you, Delfin Ramos.
Okay. Tao with a super chat saying IRGC is at the moment for worldwide terrorism. It's in our best interest to see them gone. My guys are with you, my friend. Thank you so much. And we truly appreciate it. The whole world appreciates you. And thank you so much. More people need to be grateful to Americans. I think most of the world needs to be educated on how unstable and chaotic the world would be without the Americans, economically, culturally, and militarily. So I as an Iranian, I'm so grateful to you and Americans, but I think Americans and the rest of the world, not just Iranians, the whole world needs to be grateful to the Americans. The whole world's stability is because of America's military and economy and its culture and its values and its structure that it provides globally. And it is, as an Iranian, it is one of my missions to educate the rest of the world on how important the US is as a force for good globally.
Yes. Also, that guy's still caps locking. Are you sure you got him?
No, I didn't get him because I'm talking. Okay, here, let me ban him. Okay, there you go. Ban user and delete it. Bye-bye. Bye, Muslim guy. Idiots.
Now,
Okay. You
Taufei
could-
can have his conversation with us and send a super chat without that person distracting everyone. Thank you very much, Taufei.
So thank you guys for okay. Okay. And then Mad Brick with a super chat saying overthrowing the Islamic regime and backing the Iranian people is a historic chance to deal a heavy blow to Islamists and the woke movement behind them. The importance of this issue must be realized. Fantastic. I don't need to. This is so good. I don't even need to add anything to it. This is perfect. Perfect comment, guys. Screenshot this. Get AI to make a beautiful quote out of it, print it, frame it, hang it on your wall, read this 3 times a day.
I will
That's what
add
you
that
do.
they are also a proxy to Putin and Xi, who are also against individual rights and individual property. This is something that the Iranian people have been suffering. They are under the CCP's camera. They're giving drones to Russia so they can attack Ukraine and its territorial integrity. So it's such a force for good in the world to be rid of the IRGC. I just want to back the sentiment up 100%.
Yes, 100%. And thank you so much, Mad Brick. And the real Sal with another super chat. Thank you so much, by the way, with all the support today. Saying you guys are not understanding how bad this is. The fact that he went on Joe Rogan just lost everything for the people on the right side of history. Being a people pleaser is worse than being anti or pro-Israeli. JD Weasel Vance. So the real Sal is basically like raising the alarms, basically wanting so everybody to know how big of a deal this is. And he is a threat. I do believe that he's a global threat. I do agree with that. What do you think, Monkey?
Well, there is a way to get around that. You just have Rubio go on Rogan. If Rubio goes on
Yeah.
Rogan, Rubio is far more likely because he's more
Mm.
in line with the Senate, knows a lot more about lobbying and can probably dispel all this lobbying bullshit. The best thing you can do with this, you might get some votes for Trump on the ISO side. You put Rubio on after him, you will get the majority of the logical center and center right at least, and maybe some center left too. You will get that logical majority, and you will also get, you will also get, a whole lot of people that are against JD's stance that don't understand what is all this lobbying. There's people that say, no, I'm against, don't make Finasterama, not a chance in fucking hell. That bitch goes crazy on my fucking channel, and that bitch can go fuck herself. I would suggest you not do that. Fuck you, bitch.
Oh my god. Wait, why are you talking to her like that?
Because I don't care how much you like Jew hater and that fucking bitch. I hate that bitch. That bitch talks a whole lot of shit to me, and I don't like that fucking bitch. Go fuck yourself, you fucking bitch. You'd like to talk a lot. You like to kiss Armin's ass, but you like to talk shit to me. You can go fuck yourself, you fucking bitch.
Okay, calm down, Monkey. Calm down.
All right.
What the hell?
Fuck that bitch.
Hey, don't talk to people in the chat like that. Come
Hey,
on, Monkey.
they're on my channel too, and on my channel, you can go fuck yourself. You're not coming on my channel, you fucking bitch.
Okay, stop talking like that. Stop. You're on my channel too. Don't talk like that on my channel.
All right. I don't want her to have power over the people that might come onto my channel from your channel, because I know the way she
don't talk much. Okay.
Like, this person is not holy. Like, she may treat you nice because she's my Jew hater, and I don't have to put up with her shit.
Okay, but never again talk like that on my channel to people like in the chat. Okay, never again.
Then I'll tell it to you about later. I talk to you about it later. But I don't. This is something I'm not doing that shit. No fucking way.
Okay, I wasn't gonna do that anyways. But never talk to people in the chat like that in my channel. Okay, never do that again. Promise.
Okay, but you got to understand, when I'm running my channel, I am going to talk to them, even if we're on both channels.
But when you are live on my channel on Liberty Politics, don't talk to people in the chat like that ever again, please.
On your show, I won't do that.
If you're live on Liberty Politics, don't talk to the people in the chat like that.
I'm going to time them out then. I can't ban them, but I can't time them out. They're not
Time
going
them
to be
out.
on my show.
Okay, do that, but don't talk like that again. Okay, just I need you to tell me that. I need you to tell me that you're not going to do that.
I will time them out.
All right. I want to hear you say that you're not going to talk like that, okay?
I'm not going to talk to them. I'll just time them out. Timing them out just eliminates the whole
I
problem.
already heard that part. Can you just say, I promise I won't do that?
I promise I'll time them out.
And I would not talk to them like that again.
I won't talk to them at all. I'll just time them out.
Okay. This is crazy. Yeah, that was not a good look, by the way.
I don't care. This person treats me like shit when you're not around.
Yeah, but that's not, we are live on my channel as well. I don't like people talking to anybody in the chat like that.
I understand that you have your stance on how you talk to your chat. I can respect that, but you like my chimp out. You like who I am because I am the way I am. But you can't expect me to become magically someone else.
That was not chimping out, man.
That is absolutely chimping out. That person, like, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I have an anecdote. Hey, the guy everyone is talking about. I don't care. Let's move on. Because you're putting me on the spot here. Let me explain it. Okay. We were talking about, like everyone in the chat is talking about birthright citizenship. I say, hey, it's funny that the leftists are going to have to admit that the fetus is a person with rights to give it birthright citizenship. And this person, who the fuck is talking to you? Nobody's talking to you. That's not the subject, blah, 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 talking to me like that. And I'm like, why are you talking to me like this? Fuck off. You're not my boss. And that person just keeps at me and talking shit. And you know what? I don't have to deal with someone like you having 20, 30 spamming my messages. I don't have to. Yeah, but if you make them a mod, I can't do that. And they're going to have the ability.
I wasn't going to make them a mod.
Okay, but that's where it was going. You were starting a comment where she wants
to
be a mod.
I was not. I was going to make her a mod.
And you understand why I was
I don't understand. I do not understand that language. But it's okay. Let's move on. Okay, the real Saw with another super chat saying people need to remember Israel is the first line of defense for the U.S. Exactly. Israel fights the U.S. wars, not U.S. fights Israel wars. No one in the Mid-East thinks the U.S. fights Israel's wars. Israel has no power over Trump or the U.S. Well, Israel has influence, but U.S. influence on Israeli politics is as so much higher than Israel's politics in the United States. By far. It's not even comparable. It's on a completely different level. Every two countries have influence over each other, but United States influence on Israel is so much higher. So, and you're 100% correct. Israel, by the way, guys, look at this. Real Saw is saying this as a Lebanese person. And I really appreciate it as a Lebanese American. As an Arab Lebanese American, I really appreciate your perspective on all of this. And also, I would want to add on top of that, beyond Israel being the first line of defense for the United States, so was Iran at some point. Iran was also a first line of defense for the United States at some point, until the fall of the Pahlavi dynasty. And once Iran is liberated, Iran will also turn into a first line of defense for United States alongside with Israel. And that would be a huge win for all Americans. You agree with that, Monkey?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, The Real Cell. Thank you for the super chat. And then we got another super chat by The Real Cell saying, Monkey, you got to chill out. You can get the channel banned. Relax. Don't give in to trolls or mean people on the chat. The chat has no power.
I have said nothing that's going to get the channel banned. I reject that premise completely.
But I appreciate The Real Cell's concern for our channel and for Monkey's mental health. Thank you so much, Real Cell. Thank you so much for your concern. I appreciate that. We're gonna be nice to people. Okay. Veteran Hoffman, thank you. You start this one. You want to read it, Monkey?
Veteran husband in the military, cussing is not discouraged. It's the fact of life. Yes, there's a lot of cussing. There's horrible things in YouTube. Like there's a lot of cussing, like a little cussing. Never hurt no one. Armin cusses. I cuss. Everybody on this channel cusses. When we have a live discussion group, we have people cussing from all over the world. So, you know, if someone is really, really hurt by cussing, oh well.
Yeah. We're not going to do that to the chat at that level from now on. Thank you. We're just going to time them out. If you can't handle them, just time them out. Right?
It's not that I can't handle them. It's that I don't have to. And by the way, all these chats are logged. If this person tries to take some stuff out of context, I will have the record.
Yeah. Let's move that. Let's move on. Okay. Can we just go back to politics? All right. We're going to discuss politics here. Right, not the internal drama. All right, let's go actually talk about JD Vance and Israel's take. This is what the monkey was getting angry over earlier. This is what we want to get angry over: politics. Let me see what he's saying here.
Yeah, I see that. I see that narrative. I mean, I actually think that they.
When he says they, he's talking about Israel. Okay.
Yeah, I see that. Yes. I see that narrative. I mean, I actually think that they look. Do they try to influence American politics? Yes, but like I said earlier, a lot of other countries do. I think
to the extent that Israel does.
I think some are better at it than others. I think the Israelis are definitely more effective at it than most. But I wouldn't say that they're the only effective country by any means that tries to influence American politics. I just think you have to be self-aware about it. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a country of 9 million people. We have 330 million people. And so, of course, they're going to try to persuade Americans. They're going to try to move Americans in one direction or another. I think that's just the nature of the beast. Yeah, I see that.
This is the most garbage take ever.
Yes.
The United States influences Israeli politics a lot more. You influence Israeli politics a lot more. You specifically have attacked the Netanyahu and their cabinet and affected their elections. So this is a garbage take. Go on, Monkey. You want to say something?
Look, I want to say that this is where you're hiding the facts. Yeah, Israel has 9 million people. How many other people that are funding these lobbies, how much money are they putting in, and how many people are in it? How many people are in China? How many people are in China in the CCP, the PLA? How many people are in Qatar? How many people are in Saudi Arabia? And how many of them actually hate Israel? Because it's not a little amount. Like I said before, we're talking about China is spending $457 million in the lobby. Qatar, $256 million. That's just the lobby. Saudi Arabia, $310 million just in the lobby. Our United Arab Emirates, $242 million just in the lobby. And you want to cry about 0.7 million. 0.7, that's how much Israel puts in the lobby. And 95 from AIPAC, that is Americans inside America that want to have some say in American politics. So this 97 million versus when you put them all together, this is a couple of billion in here, right? So this is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous to make this false equivalency about the influence, because when we're talking about it, we're talking about numbers. And the reason everyone hates Israel right now, it has to do with those are billions of dollars that is being spent against Israel in influence operations, and those around, let's put it at about $2 billion being spent in the lobby against Israel. You can't say, oh, they have an influence and just ignore all the influence that's going in the opposite direction. Oh, you can't talk about Jews. Oh, you can't talk about Jews because that's all I hear. That's all I hear all over YouTube, all over the fucking news, all over the Jews. We have 5 out of 5 channels, 4 are leftists talking shit about Israel, 4 are leftist pro-Hamas channels. I'm sick of this false equivalent, same side, both sides bullshit. It's not the same on both sides. It is definitely skewed. And this fucking psyop that the Jews control everything is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. We got Marxists in Christianity. We got some rainbow Christians and we got some right-wing Christians. We have it we have some left-wing Jews and right-wing Jews. We have it in every profession. We have it in every country, in every race. The problem here is the people against individual liberty and property. That's the fucking problem. So stop blaming Jews and pretending they control everything because it's an easy scapegoat. I'm sick of this shit.
That was a great chimping out. That was fantastic. That was a great sweep.
Clear. I've been angry about this even before we started. Like I was already angry before. Remember, we talked about this even before we started. I was like, I was already raging about this. This is the shit that has me in a bad mood.
So yes, this is what we want the monkey to chimp out about. Thank you. That was epic. That was pretty good. Clip that. Somebody clip that part out. I mean, my editor should. Yeah. And also,
I mostly appeal to men. Like a lot of women don't like how brash I am. I understand that. I know where my audience is, and you know what? That's why we have different perspectives and different
That's not
people with
true.
different tones.
Actually, most of the people who are appreciating you in the chat is Texas Troop, Amy. There's a lot of women in the chat who are appreciating you. So I don't.
But she's like high IQ, extra special.
Okay, unlike most women, apparently.
Look, hey, most humans are not extra special.
Wow. Okay. Texas Troop was saying with a great point here, saying, I don't know why we have to keep saying it. AIPAC is American citizens. American citizens. Yes, AIPAC is American. And then she's also saying AIPAC equals 6 million American citizens, most of whom aren't even Jewish, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, like if I can join, I will join. And I don't think there's anything Jewish about me except support.
Hey guys, I wasn't. Yeah, okay. Wow. Okay. Well, by the way, this wasn't the.
Okay, I'm gonna blush. You want to see a monkey blush? Because I'm getting a lot of support from the women in this chat that I didn't even know I had. Like there's a monkey blushing over here. Oh my god, I love you gals too. I didn't even know I had that kind of support. But you know, I'm gonna send you monkey hugs because Armin doesn't like to hear the monkey kisses. So monkey hugs for everyone.
Yes. See, monkey's assumptions about women are being challenged. Thank you, guys. Okay. All right. Steak and Beans with a super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, oh boy, how much money Qatar invests to destroy the USA and all the West? How much Russia try exactly like in 2020s? Vance just pooping out his face hole. Okay, pooping out of his face hole. Yes, I agree with that. Like, you know, where is the outrage regarding that? Where is the outrage? Like, again, AIPAC is not even Israeli. If you actually look at the Israeli lobby, it's like their budget is under $1 million, and then you have the Qatari spending billions of dollars, spending in the most toxic content in your education system and in your social media and traditional media. And these people are not speaking out against that. Billions of dollars versus a budget under $1 million by the budget. I'm not talking about AIPAC because AIPAC is American. If you actually look at Israel's actual lobby in the United States, it's pathetic. In fact, people say, Armin, you don't criticize Israel. I always criticize Israel. This is one of them. Why don't you have like a powerful lobby in Washington, D.C.? Like, what are you doing? Why is Israel not actually investing in a lobby in Washington, D.C.? Why are you afraid of the backlash? They already hate you. The people who are anti-Israeli, they already hate you. What is going to change? Like, you need to invest in your soft power in the United States. Like, what are you doing? This is what Charlie Kirk was complaining about. Like, where are you guys? This is the best criticism for Israel. Like, you are dropping the ball here. Anti-Israeli sentiment is like growing in the United States, and you're not doing anything about it. Where's the investment? You keep investing in your military. This is your soft power. You guys are missing in action. Israel sucks at propaganda. Israel sucks at soft power. Like, as good as they are in intelligence, in military, in entrepreneurship, in finance, in all of these, in academia, in the sciences, they're good at so many things. But when it comes to soft power and advertising Israel stats, especially in the United States, like, you guys, where are you? It's like everybody else who believes in you is doing your job for you, and you're missing in action. This is exactly what Charlie Kirk said about Israel.
Yes, like that's one of the things that's why Nick Fuentes hated Charlie Kirk. He used to call him Top Boy because of the kind of support and help that Charlie brought to Israel, to the cause, to the lies about them. He was trying to dispel a lot of the lies, and I respect that greatly. I start a high IQ comment there.
Okay, let's look at this full version of what JD Vance said about Israel over here, because he also starts crying about, like, they said mean comments about me. They published some opinions about me. This is like a foreign influence campaign. Like, this is insane. Look at this. I'll play the whole 3 minutes.
But I definitely think you have seen this very discreet, extremely well-funded campaign to try to derail the negotiation and try to derail the deal. And, you know, there was, again, there's this
So it's same by Israel.
Time article that came out yesterday. A friend sent it to me. It's like worth reading because it lists a bunch of people who have quite literally been paid by a former Trump campaign person who was himself paid by certain elements within the Israeli government. And those people are attacking me viciously for quite literally trying to accomplish the negotiation objective that the president set for the country. So
what is their position? Like, they're attacking you how?
Oh, it's social media posts. It's, you know, they're leaking to reporters. They're attacking me obsessively, saying that we should not be negotiating with Iran. We should just keep the military campaign going indefinitely. And that is their explicit position. And coming after me saying that, you know, people have come after me and say that I'm influenced by Qatar, that I'm influenced by foreign governments, that, you know, I take my marching orders from Tucker Carlson. And there's just so much bullshit out there, when what I'm actually trying to do is accomplish what the President of the United States told me to accomplish, which is a settlement of this that accomplishes our objectives. Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. We have the free flow of oil and gas. And like, I should be clear, you know, I don't actually mind. I don't mind that the, you know, let's say certain elements of the Israeli government want to criticize the deal or have disagreements about the deal. I don't even mind an effort to try to influence, you know, foreign governments try to influence the United States all the time. You know, Israel does it, other countries do it. It's just sort of the nature of the beast. What bothers me is actually when Americans allow, meaning American leadership, allows that influence to affect their judgment and to affect what they are advocating for. That's what really bothers me. People are always going to try to influence the United States of America, whether they're allies of ours or whether they're enemies of ours. But again, when I open up the pages of Time magazine and I see that there's a literal foreign influence campaign being funded to tank the very deal that I was pursuing, and oh, by the way, many of the people who were receiving that money were actually attacking me in completely dishonest ways, you know, my response to that is, well, go to hell. I'm going to do what I have to do for the American people. I represent Americans first. But
yeah, go to hell for having an opinion about the MOU and the negotiations. Wait, JD Vance, weren't you the one who came out and lied about Bibi and his cabinet and said that they're insulting President Trump directly, personally, when there was no record of anybody within Bibi's cabinet saying that? Aren't they supposed to tell you to go to hell? You say, like, oh, this is a foreign influence campaign. Aren't you a foreigner to Israelis? Aren't you attacking? Didn't you attack Israel first before they even commented on your performance on the MOU and the negotiations? You attacked them personally and directly, individually. And then you are now saying that they're doing a foreign influence campaign. What are you? Aren't you not by yourself with your comments? Your comments against Israel are the most aggressive anti-Israeli comments coming from a White House since the Suez Canal. And not even the Democrats, not even a Democrat-run White House has ever spoken so aggressively against Israel. Isn't that, to Israelis, a foreign influence campaign coming from the White House against Israel right before their election in October? Doesn't that mess with their politics? Doesn't that put Bibi in a disadvantage? Isn't your impact on their elections, on their politics, significantly higher than them on yours? And you're complaining like, oh, they had an article saying something negative about my views. Boo fucking who? You're complaining about so Israelis, because they're not Americans, they're not allowed to have opinions and publish them. What are they supposed to do? Keep it to themselves because it will have an impact on your politics? Do you hold back your opinions about Israel because it impacts their politics? Why should they hold back their opinions on you when you don't hold back your opinions on them?
Look, I hate running the whole thing. I hate it. I hate running the whole video. I always hate running the whole video. He did 20 things there that if I could stop it, I'd say, hey, look at this trick. Look at this trick that he's doing. Look at this other trick that he's doing. Look at this other trick that he's doing. I'm gonna lay down a few of the tricks that he's doing. First of all, he's quoting Time Magazine. Oh, Time Magazine, that arbiter for fair and balanced coverage. Like, why are you so worried about time lying now? They lie about everybody. Why does anybody trusting Time? Why are you worried about Time? What Time says now? Time has never been trustworthy. They've always wait. I know why it's a problem now, because you claim it's the Jews, right? So we're talking about influence spending. So what is the influence spending? Because IPAC is American, so you got to take that 95 million off the table, because you're talking about foreign influence. And if you're talking about foreign influence, then we got to talk about the foreign lobby. And the foreign lobby from Israel is 700K. That's 700K against China's 475 million, right? Qatar's 256 million. Saudis 310 million. So why are you muddying the waters about these influence spending? Do you think do you think if AIPAC and American money play some ads in Time and you didn't like what they had to say? Have you seen what Time says about Trump? Have you seen what Time says about Republicans? What the fuck are we talking about? Are we trusting Time? Are we super diving Time over here? This is fucking bullshit. Like, you can't say AIPAC is foreign influence. These are Americans. If we're talking about foreign influence, we have to talk about the 0.7, the 700K versus all these mountains of money from other countries. Like, he did a lot of rhetorical tricks there. He put in about at least 5 that I could clock, but I can't like lay them all out. I know, hey, on my channel, I like to stop it a lot. You like to run the whole way through. And the point that you did get in there, it was good. It is a very good point that they have a right to talk all the shit they want. But I wanted to point out some other points just to add to it. Like, you have to understand, AIPAC is American. So why is he talking about foreign influence? If we're talking about AIPAC, and that's how this conversation started, because I started, you can't count AIPAC as foreign spending. So what are we talking about? $700,000. That's peanuts. That's literally peanuts. My problem with Israel is they're being too cheap, too stingy. They're not putting enough money into this. I would take that $700,000 and spend it on showing how much China puts into this lobby. That would be my whole function. My whole function would be showing how much FARA lobbying China, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. That will be the whole budget. Putting it on posters, putting it on Twitter, putting it in ads, putting it on YouTube. That's every ad would show, hey, you think we're a bad lobby? Let's look at the numbers, and then put that 0.7 that Israel is putting into the lobby, because it's fucking bullshit. It's a bullshit narrative. It's just a lie. It's a lie that keeps perpetuating itself because of these false equivalencies being made about there being AIPAC being a foreign lobby. AIPAC is not a foreign lobby, and FARA, which is full of every foreign lobby, will show you where the influence is really coming from. You're muted, Armin.
Sorry. I said that was a good rant. I enjoyed it. But we got some super chats, and then there's another clip of JD Vance I want to play. See what your takes on that is. Let me see. 2 super chats. Oh, wait, you start this one. Yes.
Yes, this is a very high IQ takeover here. People want APAC. If people want to ban APAC, then ban the dentist lobby. Armin, go ahead and tell them why that comment is important.
Yeah, because the dentist lobby has a bigger budget than APAC. So that's how big APAC is. It doesn't even meet the dentist lobby. And APAC is not even Israeli. Like, if guys, people keep saying like APAC actually has a small budget. APAC has a small budget compared to Qatar and Saudi Arabia and Russia and even the Islamic Republic, actually, that has for some reason has a lobby in Washington, D.C. But the thing is that even though, yes, it's true, APAC actually has a small budget, but the actual Israeli lobby in Washington, D.C. has even a much less significant budget than APAC. It was 700,000, wasn't it? Like, it's not even $1 million. So the actual Israeli lobby doesn't even reach $1 million budget. And then what did you say was Qatar, Monkey?
Qatar is 256, China 457, Saudi's 310.
So here's the thing: Qatar is like in the hundreds of millions, but that's not the entirety of their influence, right? So if you last time we went through it, that's the official lobby, like official lobbying money, right? That is registered and everything. If you actually calculate everything that the Qatar does, all the financial, everything that is spent on influencing U.S. politics, it reaches $2 billion, $2 billion a year. Not just
no. It's way more than that. Way more than that.
Well,
$2 billion is UAE. That's UAE. Qatar is around 5 to 6.
5 to 6. Okay, yes, you're right. 5 to 6. So think about this: 5 to 6 from Qatar, and then Israel, not even $1 million. And people complain about APAC, which is American. Unbelievable. The reason why Israel gets a lot closer to the United States is because it just makes sense. Okay, the reason why all of Qatar has to spend money, UAE has to spend money, Saudi Arabia has to spend money, is because it doesn't make sense. Okay, the partnership between Qatar and United States at this level doesn't make sense. The reason why Israel gets to be such a great partner of the United States without spending money on it, because it just makes sense. It just works. Steak and Beans with a super chat. Thank you so much. Saying, yeah, buying Trump 747. How's that? Yep. What do you think about this? What do you think about?
I don't know.
plane?
Maybe a little influence. Also, the dentist lobby trying, like, that's a plot, a conspiracy to stop us from eating candy.
Well, that's good. I agree with them. On this. Stop eating candies, guys. Unless they are.
You're gonna donate to their lobby. I just know it.
I mean, you know what? I was gonna join APAC. I can't because I'm not American. But I based on what Monkey just said, I might actually want to join the dentist lobby if they allow me. If they're stopping people from eating candy, sugary candy, sugar-free ones are okay. And thank you, Second Beans. And then Second Beans with another super chat saying, "Oh my God, you want to read this one?"
Okay. Piece of shit. USA couldn't execute the February war unless the Israeli inputs, like without their help. Israel should try to influence the deal when it regards its existence and while being left out of the deal, while being dangerous. Okay, so here's something that I want to point out that maybe some people forgot because this is a conversation we're having. Part of the deal was telling Israel what to do about Lebanon. How are you going to say that they shouldn't influence the deal, but you want to hold them directly accountable to a deal they're not in? What do you mean they're not part of the deal? Yes, they are part of the deal. Yes, they should influence the deal because part of the deal is telling Israel what to do about Lebanon. That's just logical.
Thank you, Second Beans. Thank you for the super chat. And then you highlighted this comment.
Hopefully soon, I'm always going to be my monkey self, but hopefully soon.
Read the comments always, Monkey.
Okay. Mama is saying, when are you getting monetized, Monkey? Hopefully soon. Hopefully.
So
it all depends on you guys.
So that's Amy, by the way, in our group call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Amy. Thank you.
So, by the way, guys, I want to ask you. I'm going to put the link to the Monkeys channel in the chat, and I'm going to ask you guys not to subscribe to Monkeys channel. Do not. I put the link in the chat. Please do not go and subscribe to him because we got the 69 number here, and we want to keep it like that. We got a funny number, so please do not ruin this. Okay, I'm going to put the link in the chat to the Monkeys channel. Please do not subscribe so that we could keep this number. Okay, thank you very much.
There is an
know.
alternative. We could get to 969.
Okay. We could get to 69,000. Right. Hey, okay, yeah.
I get 69.
Okay, yes. Oh, yeah, we could. That's a more achievable goal in the meantime. And then we got Casey with the super chat saying Lindsey Graham's sister is taking his place. Well, I didn't know. Do you know anything about this, Casey?
Well, Casey Pierce, I believe, is talking about different states having different rules for succession. And I think it is allowed in Texas. So, no, not in Texas. Where's Lindsey Graham from again? And wherever he's from, that's a rule that can be
Carolina.
South Carolina, that's right.
Wow, Monkey, I see. I do know something. I'm not American, and I knew that. So I know, can I get a little bit of credit for knowing that as a non-American? Just a little bit.
No credit because Americans suck at maps.
Okay, but
we are always terrible. We are always terrible about that. Foreigners are always better at us than maps.
But guys in the chat, Monkey is not going to praise me. The chat, isn't that good? Like I'm not an American, okay, but I knew that. That's a little bit impressive, just a little bit. No, okay, but go on, Monkey, sir.
If you ever want to get a little bit depressed, watch Americans trying to name the states. Point at the states and try to tell which one it is. It's a little depressing.
Monkey just is finding excuses not to give me any credit for knowing that, but okay. Whatever. The chat is going to praise me. Okay, but go on. What were you saying about the system?
Yeah, apparently it's within the rules that they can do that. And maybe, I don't know how it works exactly, but because I haven't looked into it, but it is apparently, there you got some praise. It is apparently it is apparently legal. And that's the most important thing, that it be legal.
Okay, let me show you this angry comment by this Iranian on JD Vance from Arsalan. I saw this one getting a lot of attention. So Arsalan, who's an Iranian, posted this in response to JD Vance when he said, like, oh, we're not going to send 150,000 US troops to Iran. The Iranians should do it themselves, do the regime change themselves. So Arsalan said, in the most respectable way I can possibly put this, no fucking person asked you to send 150,000 US troops, you absolute moron. Stop pretending that that's what the Iranian people were asking for. The boots on the ground were always supposed to be the Iranian people themselves. The role of the US and Israel was to strike the regime's military infrastructure, which they did. The Iranian people came out on day one. Your administration, okay, I don't know if I agree with the rest of this. Your administration told them to stay inside. Oh yeah, I do agree with this. You said it wasn't the right time. You said you would give them the green light. You never did. Yeah, because justifiably they never did, because their assessment shows that the Islamic Republic still can do the massacre like they did in early January. Why? Because you didn't want the Iranian people to be the ones who toppled the regime. That's I don't agree with this. I don't agree. I agree with the rest of the first part, but the reason is because the regime, their assessment showed that the regime still had suppression ability. So but he's saying because you didn't want the Iranian people to be the ones who toppled the regime and determined Iran's future. You wanted to control the regime change process yourself and extract concessions from it. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with the rest of this.
I also think that's about Vance specifically.
Maybe, okay. Yeah. You made the mistake, so stop bullshitting people as if it was the Iranian people who failed to do their part. They did, and 40,000 of our countrymen paid the price of your false promises. So, like, I agree here, but let's remember that Americans also sacrificed. Let's not forget the fallen soldiers, American soldiers, right? The Americans, I know the sacrifice was not as much, but we also have to remember that the Americans did more than anybody right now, anybody in history. The Americans did more than anybody, and President Trump did more than any president in history to damage the Islamic Republic. And it's not over. It's not over until it's over. And Khamenei is dead. IRGC is weaker than it has ever been. The opposition has been stronger than it has ever been, and that's a lot of it has to do with the United States. So, it's good. I mean, I'm always for criticizing JD Vance when appropriate. I will praise him as well whenever he says something right. But we have to be grateful to the Americans, and I understand that everybody needs to know that the Iranian people sacrificed tens of thousands of people in just a matter of a few hours for the sake of liberty. And we should always remember the American sacrifice for their own safety as well. And we have to remember that Americans sacrifice soldiers as well, and we should remember their fallen as well.
I would like to add to that as an American. All right. As an American, what I would say to this person is I understand that JD Vance is trying to do his thing and you're very angry at him for the way he's doing his thing. But I want you to remember that this isn't over. And I do not suggest you come out right now, but I do believe that we will keep hitting. Now, this is what I believe should happen. We want to hit every in-house, outhouse, doghouse, IRGC house, every guard station, hit everything so that you have the power to go out without dying. Like, we place a high value on each individual life, and that's why we love individual rights, is because we believe in the value of individual lives. That's why you give them rights, because they have value. So to us, the cost of 52,000, probably more, people dying is an incalculable loss. It's an incalculable loss of intelligence, people, influence, on each other. Someone might influence you to invent a great invention, to paint some great art, some great music, some great scientific breakthrough. We don't know how much is lost in that generations and the generation that could have come from them, because it is an incalculable loss. That's why we're not giving you the signal to go out. It's not that we want to control your future. We really, really don't want you to die. We recognize individual value of every individual life. And I was infantry, like I was ready to die, but no one wants the death to be a waste. We're ready to die, but if it can be avoided, we do the maximum effort to avoid it, no matter the cost.
Right. Oh, here we got another super chat by Father of Chaos, who's always concerned about my health. Thank you so much, Father of Chaos. You want to read
How
this?
How you feeling? You feeling good, Armin? Let's make Father of Chaos know that you're doing good. You're feeling well, yes. Armin. You got your tea.
I'm
all
doing
right.
very
Father
well.
of Chaos. Hey, I checked on him. He's doing good. When Monkey hits 1,000, does super chat start instantly? Let's compete for see who's the first person in the super chat. Hey, I welcome that competition. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I have no idea how it works. I had a chance to monetize a long time ago, many years ago, but I didn't take it. So I have to let Armin guide me on that.
Yes, yeah. Well, as soon as he gets monetized, he just has to go to the monetization, to the earn section, and just turn super chats on, and it would be almost immediate. Once he gets approved, it will be almost immediate. Yes, for sure.
And thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let's look at this clip from JD Vance and see what you think about this one. Here, play.
You see Mike Pence, who's sort of a super hawk, my predecessor, who say this. There are people, who are super hawkish in the American system, who have attacked the deal and frankly, in some ways have tried to derail the deal. And what I always say to those people is, what is your proposal? What is your actual argument? So just take the Strait of Hormuz, like the narrowest, but in some ways the most important part of this back and forth right now. Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway. To the extent you shut it down, you shut down 25% of the world's energy supply. Okay? Joe, you could take $100,000 and go buy a bunch of drones on the black market and post yourself on an island in the Strait of Hormuz or near it and you could fire drones at those ships. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Some oil and gas is still going to get out because some ships and some ship captains are going to say, screw you. Now, the United States can help that, right? We can shoot down some of those drones. We can shoot down some of those missiles. And so we can facilitate the flow of traffic. But the people who are like, you cannot negotiate with the Iranians, the reason why that's fundamentally idiotic is because so long as you have some person who's willing to fire off a few cheap drones, you're going to have some ship captains who say, no, we're not willing to do this. So we got to kind of use all tools at our disposal. The military is one tool, but diplomacy is another tool. And I'm very frustrated by the Americans and frankly by people in other countries who are like, you cannot negotiate with the Iranians. Well, then what is your proposal to get people to stop shooting at ships in the Strait of Hormuz? You can bomb them. You can take away their radar. You can take away some of their drones and some of their missiles, but it's just too easy to fire at ships in the straits. So you've got to actually be willing to talk and to try to figure out the problem.
So one thing I could tell you, I could promise you that this was the best clip for the Islamic Republic. This is the greatest gift that J.D. Vance could have given to the Islamic Republic by saying this. This is going to undo so much damage on the reputation of the Islamic Republic. Like I bet you that the Islamic Republic officials, when they saw this clip, they were like, oh my God, thank you. Like this clip is going to be used by the Islamic Republic over and over again. They're going to go run this again and again and again, because right now the Islamic Republic feels humiliated. And so many of its own followers think that they're being defeated. And he's going to go show that the Islamic Republic are going to go show, like, look, we told you. They can't defeat us. They can't. We are forcing them. We are the ones who are forcing them to the negotiation table, because they have realized that with all their military might, they cannot stop us. Guys, look, we're not the ones who are being humiliated. We have humiliated the world's superpower. They came here, they tried to force us, and JD, the vice president of the United States, is admitting that they can't handle us, that all their military might, they're bending their knee to us. We are forcing them. They're not forcing us to come to the negotiation table. We are forcing them to come to the negotiation table. This is the greatest gift, because right now, the Islamic Republic, the main concern of the Islamic Republic right now is the crisis of legitimacy among its own base of support. And this is the best gift J.D. Vance could have given to the Islamic Republic right now at this moment.
I'd like to add to that. There's 3 big lies there. The first one, oh, so anyone with some money and some drones can stand at any strait and cause damage, and you're just going to do diplomacy with them? Aren't you just legitimizing anyone that does any damage on any strait? How would you allow this? How would you legitimize anyone who just, so I can stand at any strait and just fire on people, and suddenly I have the U.S. over here making deals with it? Oh, that's fantastic. That's going to go great all over the world. That's number one. Number two, this isn't a deal between 2 countries. It's a deal between 5 countries, between 5 powers. Because you forced the deal to be between America, Iran, Hezbollah, Lebanon, and Israel. So you tell me, why do other people are influences? It's a 5-person deal. It's not a 2-person deal. This isn't just between the U.S. and Iran, because part of the conditions of the MOU are what's happening with Hamas, what's happening with Lebanon, and what's happening with Israel. So this is a big fat lie. Like, this is a giant lie. And the third point that's being brought up here is that I had a third point. Oh my God, it's in the tip of my tongue. Look, he is lying about everything here. This is just a giant lie. First of all, it wasn't a deal between 2 people. So of course, other foreign actors are going to talk about it. It's 5 people: IRGC, USA, Israel, Hamas, and Lebanon. No, Hezbollah and Lebanon. It was never a 2-person deal. So I don't understand this. Are we going to let them do this in the Malacca Strait? Are we going to do this in every strait? What do you mean? Anybody can do this? You're just opening the floodgates so that any country can do this. It's ridiculous. Oh, the other thing is the concept that we can't eliminate the IRGC. What do you mean we can't eliminate the IRGC? You're legitimizing them, but the concept that these people can't be eliminated. What happened to Saddam? Is he still around? Iraq is a lot better. Iraq just passed by the crib. They came up, say hi to DJT, said what's up. We're making deals. That place is better now. As much as we don't like Jelani, we got to understand that having them under our influence is better than having them under Russian influence. Turkey is better under our influence than Russian influence. So this pretending that, first of all, that regimes can't change because of some misconception about Iraq. What this guy is doing, he's shitting on Iraq. He's shitting on Iraq. He's shitting on the Iraqi president right now. What do you mean it went so bad? Like, motherfucker, didn't this guy just come to your fucking White House, sit down with your president, and you're sitting here talking shit about Iraq? What's so bad about what happened in Iraq? Some mistakes happen. Some mistakes are always going to happen. It's fucking war. That doesn't matter. What matters is we have that experience. You can't just copy paste that here. It doesn't apply the same way, number one. Number two, why are you shitting on Iraq? There's no good reason to shit on Iraq. Iraq is doing great right now. Iraq is working with us. Iraq is finding the stolen funds from its people that the IRGC is taking. Iraq is finding the people who used the Iranian money to gain influence in Iraq and make it so they could put themselves in the position to steal from both. So this is ridiculous. Number one, you're shitting on Iraq. No one knows why. Number two, you can't allow every strait to be held and diplomacy reign wherever you attack a strait. And number three, you're legitimizing a terrible government.
So I want to, he says that, oh, what are you going to do? What's your proposal? Why, with only a very small amount of weapons and small amount of budget, you could keep shooting drones and missiles at ships. What's your proposal? What he forgets is that, yeah, it's true. You can't just get rid of every single person with a drone shooting at the ship. It's really hard to completely destroy that to zero. But this is with an assumption that you don't have leverage over them. Just because you can't eliminate something 100% in a specific battlefield, it doesn't mean that you can't put pressure on them somewhere else so that they stop this thing over here. You have more leverage over them than they have over you. Use it, and if you put enough pressure, you have the blockade. You could kill their politicians. You could kill more IRGC leaders. Like, you stop doing that, you could just continue doing that. So here's the thing, like, if you're in a fight with somebody and they hold your neck or something, and you're like, oh, there's no way that I could remove this from my neck, like he's choking me. You could grab their balls. If you can't just because you can't stop them from choking you, that doesn't mean there's nothing else you could do. You could attack somewhere else and get them to stop that because you're putting pressure on them somewhere else. Just grab their balls. Okay, fine. You can't get this off of your neck. Grab their balls and put pressure over there, and they will stop choking you. Right? You have so many points of weakness of the Islamic Republic that you could put pressure on, and they will stop this. They will, if you grab them by the balls and really put pressure on them, I promise you, they will. You don't need to go find all of the people who are throwing drones and missiles at you. They will send people hunting down themselves. You wouldn't need to commit your own forces getting these people who are. They will send their own IRGC hunting whoever is throwing drones at commercial ships, so that you stop squishing their balls. That's what they would do. Get them to go hunt them down. You don't need to hunt them down. Get the Islamic Republic to go hunt them down. That's how you do it. And you can't do that. I know you can't do it. You're lying. You're lying. Like the monkey says, you're lying.
Another point is, okay, Mr. Negotiator, Mr. Deal Maker, can they make a deal? Aren't you the deal maker? Why don't we have a deal? Mr. Deal Maker, people are against the deal. You know who's against the deal? The guy who zipper dives you in the back room and then in the front room cleans his face and says, no, he's lying. I never touched this baby. Nothing happened. I didn't do anything. I'm the straightest Ayatollah ever. Like, you can't talk to me like you're capable of getting a deal. Like, the deal is the logical solution here. If you know they're not going to take a deal. Like, if they would take a deal, then maybe that would be a pathway. But they're not going to take a deal. They're not taking a deal. They're liars. You can't You can't play chess with a pigeon. It's just going to puff its chest and kick the pieces around. It doesn't work. What are we going to do? Negotiate with the Houthis too, so we can have the Bab al-Mendez not get it? Like, this is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous stance.
Yeah, and also somebody I want to respond to this. Mark is saying again, I can give a rat's ass about propaganda. I just don't care. I only care about American lives, I think, and the United States of America's interests. Well, okay, so Mark, you don't understand it. Let me explain this to you. If you care about American lives and America's interests, then you better care about propaganda. The Islamic Republic, which is the main threat to American lives and the main threat to American interests, its greatest weakness is the Achilles heels of the Islamic Republic. Their kryptonite is their internal civil war. Their propaganda on being able to have a narrative that suggests that they're winning is their only way that they could stop this collapse. They're rapidly collapsing because of a crisis of legitimacy. When it comes to protecting American interests, if you're only focusing on economy and military and not taking into account your soft power and their soft power and your soft power winning over their soft power, you're not going to be winning this fight if you don't take that into account. You won against the Soviets not just militarily, like during the Cold War. You won not just because of military superiority and economic superiority, but because people voted for capitalism. People decided that they don't want communism. You also won the soft power. You have to care about the soft power.
Look, I would
Also,
add to that, like, even if you don't care about it, it will affect you. The things you don't care about still affect you. China is spending around $7 billion on influence operations in those campuses. You don't care about the propaganda, but it affects those people. Those people really believe in the cause of Hamas. They're really going to block your car. And if they don't like what you have to say, or they think your nose is a little too big, they might break your windows, pull you out, and beat you to death. And just because you didn't, care about propaganda, didn't stop that from happening. Qatar is spending around $6 billion in influence operations in universities and think tanks in the lobbies. Saudi spending $4 billion, UAE $2 billion. Like, just because you don't care about propaganda doesn't. It's like politics. People say I don't care about politics. Politics is going to affect your taxes. It's going to affect your laws. Just because you don't care doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. Like, I can appreciate that maybe you're too busy. You got a family, you got a business to run, or you got a job to do, and you can't get too much into it. But you got to understand that, okay, you don't want to get into it, but understand that some people have to get into it because it does affect a lot of lives.
Right, exactly. AF, thank you so much for the super chat saying civilians going out while bombs are dropping could increase civilians' deaths in crossfire or prevent a devastating strike to prevent civilian death. I don't understand. Let me see. Civilians going out. So you're saying if the military operations happen, there wouldn't be an uprising because historically we have the uprisings don't happen when bombs are dropping from the sky. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that. That might change in the future, but historically it has been like that. Usually when you're in the middle of a military operation, like historically we don't see uprisings happening in the middle of that. So
appreciate the concern, though.
Yes. Yeah, very much. To crossfire, prevent a devastating strike to prevent civilian death. I don't understand the second part. Do you understand the second part, Monkey?
Yeah, you wouldn't. Well, it depends on devastating. If you were talking about like a nuke, no, we don't want to nuke Iran. You want to prevent a devastating strike to prevent civilian death? Yes, we wouldn't want a devastating strike in a civilian area. So that's pretty much not going to happen. When I say every in-house, outhouse, and doghouse and guardhouse, I'm talking about the kind of strikes that we can do on police bases, that we can do on military bases. Like, we're talking about assets, and we do have the capability of hitting something as small as a motorcycle, as small as a car. So we wouldn't want devastating strikes, but we want appropriate, proportional strikes to the target size.
Yeah. So the way it was planned originally, and then it was stopped. But the Operation Epic Fury, the way it was planned is that you do the major bombings before the uprising, while the people are still at home, and then you start doing checkpoints, And then when there is an uprising, if you do carry out any operations, it will be very targeted drone attacks. It wouldn't be bombardments unless it's in an area where the uprising is not happening. And again, yeah, like the monkey said, thank you so much for your concern. And good point to bring up. Thank you so much for that. And then Amy saying, like, this is a great segue. Amy saying, I have a question for the call today. Yes, guys. So Amy is going to come with a question prepared. We are about to go in 1 hour from now. We have a group call in our discussion group. So I will post a link to our discussion group if you want to join our group call in the chat. The link is also in the QR code at the top left. It's in the description, and also is in the bio section of Liberty Politics YouTube channel. So you could also find it there. But also, if you don't want to join our group call, you could just watch it live on Liberty Politics. So if you go to Liberty Politics, if you go to the live section, you can see that the next live stream coming up, this one, will be live streaming the group call. So you could just watch it over there. So make sure you subscribe to Liberty Politics on YouTube and hit the bell notification, and also like the stream right now as you're watching it. And also don't forget to subscribe to the monkey. The monkey, we're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. So I'll put the link to his channel in the chat as well for you guys to go over there as well.
Look,
all right.
Now that we're past 669, we got to get to 769 to get the funny number.
Yes. The funny number again. All right, guys. Oh, no, I already got that one. All right, guys, we're going to go. Because I want to make sure that we never get to 3 hours, because then the editor would have a nightmare if our live streams get to 3 hours, because the software doesn't accept it if it's above 3 hours. So we're going to go get something to eat and get ready for our group call, which will be streamed on Liberty Politics. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainie, Cuba Libre, Long Live America, Javicha, Payande, Iran. Mwah. See you guys soon.